Goodlettsville got a crash reported by police 65 northbound at Long Hollow Pike. Over on the west end, police say a couple of cars at least have met up. Charlotte Avenue, 28th Avenue. East Bank going westbound. TDOT still showing a crash there at Shelby Avenue. Over by the airport, police say a crash. 40 eastbound before Briley Parkway, exit 215. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, kids. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day. Conveniently, my name is Matt Murphy. I'll be your host until 7 o'clock, or they yank me off the radio, whichever comes first. I'm happy that it is Friday. Congratulations, you made it. It is not yet the weekend for many of you, but it is on the way. It is close. My grandpa used to say about the heat, it might not be hell, but hell's right around the corner. Well, the weekend might not be here, but it is right around the corner, friends. We can see it with our own eyeballs, and I'm excited about it. I hope you are as well. Just a bit of a programming note. I am finally, and I know to the delight of many of you, so we'll stop talking about it, I'm finally actually moving. I'm moving mounts. I'm going from one mount to another mount. I'm keeping the mount. We're still on the mount. We'll be from Mount Juliet to Mount Pleasant. And so that is happening on Monday. And based on all that goes on with that and into that, I will not be here. Monday is also a holiday, so several of you perhaps are off as well. We were planning on being here. I'm normally always here on the Martin Luther King holiday because it's so closely on the heels of the Christmas holiday. I feel weird about taking another day. One way or the other, I am taking that day so we can get moved in. That said, Brian Wilson, the prodigal son, as they say, returns. Brian Wilson will be here from 3 until 7 o'clock. Very excited about that. He'll be here Monday with you, and y'all be nice to me after you listen to Brian for a while, if you know what I'm saying. Here, present and accounted for as we speak, young Jackson Williams, the man of many nicknames, is behind the glass, screening your telephone calls and making sure, generally speaking, that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. Jackson, that hat looks fetching on you.
Thank you, sir. Go Vols.
Uh-huh. And then is Weaver back there? I can't see. I've got all those glares.
Brother Weaver, you back there?
Oh, I see. I think I see his head just popped up there. What is going on, Kid Weaver?
How about you boys?
What's happening?
Oh, I'm writing up news. Real busy right now. Got these. So the attorneys for Charlie Kirk's accused assassin are claiming a last minute, if you will, conflict of interest.
I've got this story. We're going to talk about this today. This is very interesting. I will be asking our legal mind, Jay St. Clair, during Friday about this very subject.
I knew you would. So, yeah, I'm just writing that up right now, cutting all that up.
Well, it's good to see you. It's good to hear from you.
You too.
Weekend right around the corner there, Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Any big plans?
I was thinking last night that, this dry January thing has, it's gone real well.
And it's run its course.
Well, no, I thought, I might treat myself to a big old tub of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream tonight. The problem is I won't just have one little scoop. I might end up eating the entire tub.
That's the trouble with those. When I go into the grocery store, on the occasions that I walk down the ice cream aisle and you find yourself looking at those pints. I used to do Ben & Jerry's a lot, but I kind of shied away from Ben & Jerry's because, they're a bunch of socialists. And why would I engage in capitalism with a bunch of socialists? So, but whether it's like that or Haagen-Dazs, any of those pints, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, you get those because you think, man, that big old gallon of ice cream, that's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Right? But then I get the pint, and I look at the pint as a serving.
Right. But it's bigger than a serving.
It's not supposed to be a serving.
No, it's not supposed to be. And my problem, too, is I also am craving a whole bunch of fried chicken. So I am running the risk of whenever I get back into Murfreesboro, of stopping and getting a bucket of chicken and a bucket of ice cream.
Thank
At
you.
what point is it just better to start drinking
That's what I was
again?
going to ask him. You better start back drinking. Otherwise, you're going to gain 50 pounds.
Well, that's what'll happen. I'll get so depressed, I'll go get me some IPA.
Hit the sauce. I've got a couple of IPAs on the docket for you, and I'm holding them until February because I don't want to tempt you.
Yes, sir.
But we're cleaning out the house,
Yeah.
And I found some in the back of the fridge that were given to me. And I know that you are a more of a fan of the IPA than yours truly.
I do like the IPA.
Well, these got your name all over them, but I'm not bringing them to you till February, Brother Weaver.
All right. By the way, you and E, the gift you gave me, that 6-pack of Holiday Porter, whew, I still got 3 of those left.
Is it any
were
good?
mighty fine.
Good. Well, but
Mighty fine.
that's the type of beer though you better watch out because you gotta sip on that one. That's a slower burn.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, floor.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Speaking of that, Jackson, what are you doing this week? By the way, Weaver, if you're not doing anything this weekend, I got boxes you can pack. I'm just letting you know.
Oh well, I've got a whole bunch going on.
Oh, do
Brother
you?
Murphy.
Oh, do you? Yeah, just a laundry list of things happening over there.
Just so many things.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Jackson, what are you doing this weekend?
Just watching some football, getting into some investing.
Are you going to engage in an investment seminar this weekend?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you.
I believe
You know
it's
what?
the same investment seminar you went to about 2 months ago.
We will let our man Jay St. Clair at 405 or thereabouts know about this, and let's see what advice he might have for you about the investment seminar. I think you might have some sage wisdom as to how you engage in this. What were you watching when I busted in on you and young Joseph today?
Investment seminar videos.
And I'm not trying to get you into trouble, but like you were watching 2 guys that went into a casino.
No, they were trapped in an airport. It was the Vegas airport.
Man, and those are by the way, those slot machines are awfully tilted toward the airport because they know they got you captive. But what were they doing?
So they had to spend 24 hours in there, and they could only spend money on like their winnings. They couldn't do anything until they won from these slot machines.
Uh-huh.
And one guy hit a huge jackpot, and the other guy lost everything.
What, they gave themselves a budget and they decided to spend their budget on gambling.
Yes.
Huh. Well, imagine that. And you've never been to Las Vegas.
Never been.
I think we should make a point to go. The show. We'll even abduct Weaver, stuff him in an overnight
Do the show
bag.
out there?
Oh, why not? Get out there and just, do our thing, howl at the moon, stay up till 9:15, 9:30. You know what I mean?
Weaver's in bed by 8.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I think we could keep Weaver up till almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you probably could. Especially if I'm drinking some of them IPAs.
Let me tell you. Fried chicken and ice cream is a bad combination, writes Scott. You might get the high cholesterol, cholestabitis. I said it right. You might get the cholestabitis.
Oh, it sounds so good, man. Give me some of that. Give me some of that white mac and cheese, too.
6146 says, wait a minute, is Weaver pregnant? I don't think so.
We're going to get little baby garden gnomes out here.
I was told by Senator little bitty.
They come out with the full beard.
They got little bobbleheads.
They got their little hats on, little pointy hats on.
That'll hurt on the way out.
Oh, man.
They whistle little songs.
You better hope they come. I don't know which side you want them to come first. I have it on good authority by Senator Josh Hawley that's not possible. He told us that earlier in the week when he was quizzing that lady that was testifying in front of the U.S. Senate.
Yeah. That issue is settled.
4460 says Weaver's like a gremlin. No beer after midnight. Someone is recommending an IPA to you, Ken.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, said hazy little thing is the best IPA.
I believe I might have tried that before. I do like a hazy IPA.
8717 says I would go with the Murphy Show to Las Vegas. Maybe we should engage the sales department to invest in a little trip.
And I could do the news out there.
Oh, absolutely, Ken. You know, I mean, and the nice cocktail waitresses would come up. Would you like another? I just do the news, boys.
I just do the news, boys. Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of news to get into today. It's going to be a fun day. Fright J starts at about 4:06 this afternoon. We're looking forward to that. The red-headed stranger, no, not that one, the other one, Pamela Furr will be along. You know, she's with Americans for Prosperity, and they've got an agenda that they have presented before the 2026 General Assembly legislative session. We will talk to Ms. Furr about that. Also, she's a new Williamson County resident, and we will discuss how that's going with her. So lots to get into. Your telephone calls always. We take them every single day, but on these Fridays, we like to focus in on them. It is a First Amendment Freestyle Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That means that, you know, Monday through Thursday, you call up and you get in. Now, we try to limit you to the topic at hand, but you get in. But on Friday, I believe we are the most caller interactive radio show on this radio station, nay, dare I say, in the state of Tennessee. We are available for you. Sometimes you have to wait a minute or two. Oh, by the way, unless your name's Mike from Old Hickory, you're banned till February. But
it's First Amendment. Mike has First Amendment rights, too.
Does he now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I bet he's going to call you and tell you that. And I heard Mandis this morning. I was driving to Mount Pleasant. And Mandis, thank you for the shout-out. Appreciate that. You're very kind. Love Dan Mandis. Love Nashville's Morning News. They're great. I've also got a clip from Nashville's Morning News this morning with Senator Bill Hagerty that I thought was so good, we got to re-rack it for this afternoon. That said, Mandis said, oh, well, he's banned Mike from Old Hickory. We banned him until February. We have banned him until the end of the month to let him think about that which he has done, and perhaps to get him right with the Lord, if you will. Just get him right with the radio station. Get him right with the show. You got to get right with Murphy, Mike. And when you're right with Murphy, we'll let you back on the show. But everybody else, it's an open phone Friday. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. I will start with this. The unrest in Minneapolis continues. There are rabble-rousers in Minneapolis, Minnesota that seem to want it to continue. Well, not seem. They want it to continue. Obviously, they want to see unrest in the streets. They don't like what the laws are. They don't like what the rules say. They don't like the manner in which they are expected to act, and so they are acting out of turn, and they want to see that level of civil disruption. It's not being called out like it should be on ABC, NBC, CBS, and hashtag Never CNN, and MSNBC and the rest. These alphabet soup leftist networks are not calling it out like they should. I asked a question the other day, and you'll hear this question if you watch Mostly Peaceful, the podcast, coming up tomorrow morning. I believe it drops at 7 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. I'm new here, so I don't know. But I'm now, Dan and Chris asked me if I wanted to be a part of the podcast, and I'm honored to be a part of their podcast. I hope I don't screw it up. But we recorded it yesterday, day before. I can't remember. Anyway, I guess it was yesterday. And we were discussing all of this going on in Minneapolis. Understand a couple of things. Number one, were it summertime, Minneapolis would already be burning to the ground. Number two, there are paid individuals that enjoin this process for the sole purpose of causing civil unrest. Number three, and this is a point that I made, I attempted to contemplate under what circumstances the mainstream media would not be condemning this civil unrest, this lawless behavior, this riotous behavior against law enforcement, were it some on the political right engaging in it. For example, and I tried to think of a policy example that might lead individuals to the streets on the political right, and the one that I came up with was the abortion issue. Now, that has largely been put to bed, thank you, Dobbs v. Jackson, in as much as it got back to the states where it always should have been. But can you imagine for a moment that those of us who consider ourselves libertarians or Republicans or conservatives, whatever you identify as, can you imagine if our side of things, if we were taken to the streets, if we were stopping legal law enforcement, if we were jumping on police cars, if we were attacking police officers? Anyone with a badge? What do you think hashtag Never CNN would be saying? What do you think ABC and CBS, these so-called objective straight arrow reporters, what do you think they would be saying about all of this? I think all of you know. In your heart of hearts, you know. Even if you're a political leftist, you know that the rules are not the same. And the agenda on the part of most of the individuals working in these network settings, it has not changed. They are dedicated to destroying Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump came out today and announced a cure for cancer, many of these individuals on the political left would immediately become pro-cancer. As sad as it is to say, y'all know that I'm telling you the truth. You know that I'm telling you the truth. If you want to watch the sale of plastic bags go through the roof, have Donald Trump come out as pro-oxygen and see what happens. It's true. Donald Trump merely wants to enforce the laws as written on the books with regard to immigration, and obviously the mainstream media is against that because they're against him. Of course, we know what they would do if we on the political right took to the streets in the same manner that the political left does. We've seen it from time to time. I mean, sadly, January 6th devolved into what it devolved into, and you saw what they tried to make that out into. Oh, it was an insurrection. Well, if that was an insurrection, that called for the Insurrection Act, right? Well, if that little bitty thing happened and it was an insurrection, what the hell would you call what's going on in Minneapolis and other places around the country? I'm not saying it's time. I'm saying it's close to time. And when it's time, we'll tell you that it's time for the Insurrection Act. We'll talk with Jay St. Clair about that as well a little bit later on today. It's 22 after the hour. Ask and ye shall receive. Y'all are loading up the phone lines, and I'll get to every one of your calls coming up in a moment. It is The Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. One of the marks of a good parent, they warn their kids about danger, who to trust, what to avoid, how to make smarter choices. Friends, it's Matt Murphy for Eurofix. Eurofix repairs European vehicles, and Eurofix believes in warning their customers, too. In one case, and this is just an example, Eurofix wrote a refund check of $5,500 back to a customer. Eurofix does that. They believe in doing things the right way. They want you to be able to trust them, that what they tell you is so, and they're never going to do anything that goes against their policy to fix what ails your vehicle, and that is just it. Not every auto shop will tell you the full story. Some oversell, others cut corners. They don't do so at Eurofix. They make quality repairs at below dealer pricing, and if they do it wrong, they try not to, and it is rare when it happens, but if it comes out wrong, they make it right at Eurofix. Get a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection, a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty, and all work repaired. Rental cars available at every appointment. Stay on the road and off the tow truck. Eurofix. Call today, 844-EUROFIX, or online at myeurofix.com.
Charlie Kirk's accused assassin in court. We'll tell you what his attorneys are arguing for coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver. He's over in the newsroom. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour, and when it breaks, Jackson Williams, we're not entirely sure what Jackson does around here.
He spreads good cheer.
You know, Ken, I would tend to agree with you on that. Jackson is, by and large, a cheerful fellow. One of the reasons that earlier in the week, Ken, were you aware that Jackson had a grumpy day earlier in the week?
I saw him. He did not seem happy.
He was not in good humor. I don't know. He said that he slept wrong.
And I figured it out. So I woke up with real bad allergies that day, and I popped 2 Zyrtec.
Oh.
And I was drowsy, and I just felt
So you were
out
stoned.
of it all day.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
You
You got Zyrtec, Jackson. And it was not a fun experience for anyone. I didn't want to be here. Y'all didn't want to be around me.
I mean, I was like, hey, Jackson, what's going on?
It just sucked every bit of energy out of me.
Well, you got it today, boy. You got it in
And
Spanish.
I'm coming to win nincompoops. I'm going to hit Ken Weaver over the head and take that trophy right out of his hands.
I got it, boy. I got one today. I'm telling you.
Trying to figure this out. So if Weaver wins,
then
obviously
we
Weaver,
riot.
Weaver, no, we don't riot. Weaver retains the trophy. If Jackson wins, that will be your third. You win the trophy, right? If you
Yes.
win. If I win, then you and I have split, and then we have to figure out what to do.
Yeah, you already got a new house. I get the trophy.
Yeah, but you're going to Tunica. That seems reward enough. We'll figure it out. I don't think I'm going to win, frankly, based on the nincompoop that I picked earlier today. I would say this, speaking of nincompoops, I would love for y'all to give me a call, especially some of you leftists. I know that some of you, and I don't say that necessarily as a pejorative, take it for what it's worth, but 2242 writes in and says, do you actually realize how stupid you sound? I say that loud because that was all in caps. So it's like, do you actually realize how stupid you sound? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Cure for cancer and the Dems would be against it? Really? Sounding real juvenile. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Break out of that big, fat, ugly orange bubble. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And join reality. Was it not the Democrats that were demanding that something be done about Nicolas Maduro until Donald Trump did it? Was it not the Democrats that were demanding that? I mean, that's just the first example that comes to my mind. Donald Trump does things, and the Democrats are automatically against the things that he does. All right, Jesse is first up. Jesse, thank you for your call. How are you?
Doing just fine, Matt. How are you?
I'm great, Jesse. What's on your mind?
Well, I think I found the cure for all this foolishness that's been going on in this country. I believe they ought to reinstate the draft and make people fight. At least put their life on the line for their rights. You know, it's kind of like, you buy your kid a car, they abuse it. But if you make them earn that car, they respect it a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these people would respect this country a lot more if they had to actually put their life on the line for it. There's only 0.5% of Americans that actually put their name on that line to fight for those rights. And then you got the liberals that hide behind those rights that they've never once had to put their life on the line for.
Would the idea of compulsory service include just the military, or could you serve in some other form?
I don't really know. I've served in the military, but I don't know what other form there would be.
I mean, what about, for example, Jack, what about women? All these women.
Oh, of course. Are they
going to serve in the military?
Equal rights? Of course, absolutely.
Do you want that many women? Do you want that many women in the Army?
Hey, if they're willing to take up arms and fight for what?
Well, hold on, Jay, but it's not a matter of willing at that point. We're making them, right?
Correct, absolutely.
So I'm having a little fun with you, but I don't know that I want a bunch of unwilling. I mean, I'm just saying.
I understand. I understand completely.
No, but you know what? I really do like the idea of some level of expecting some level of service to one's nation. I don't know, and thank you, Jesse, for the call. The idea has been around for a while that we would expect some level of compulsory service to the United States of America. I have a tendency to not to agree with it. I kind of have always fallen on that we are a country that believes in freedom so much that you have the freedom to not like your country that gives you the blessings and liberty to enjoy that freedom. I know it sounds a little oxymoronic, but I think it's true. But I'll think on it. Thomas is coming up. Brad, Mark, you too. It's time for the news on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson's attorneys claiming a conflict of interest wants the judge to disqualify the Utah County prosecutors from the case. The judge asked, "Why did you wait and do that until today?" And one of the prosecutors, Ryan McBride, says it's just an attempt to delay proceedings.
Some of the issues that have been brought up in some of the case law regarding creating or alleging conflicts. There's a lot of case law that talks about how it can be a tactic to try and remove cases from one prosecutor's authority to find a more lenient prosecutor, find a more favorable prosecuting authority that's not going to seek, for example, in this case, the death penalty.
So court records show that a deputy county attorney whose name remains redacted has a child who was at the event where Kirk was assassinated, and the defense claims that could influence seeking the death penalty due to high emotions. Well, the U.S. Health and Human Services Department's launching a new study on cell phone radiation. Officials say the research will focus on possible links to neurological damage and cancer concerns long raised by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This move comes as the FDA apparently removed older web pages saying cell phones are not dangerous. Other federal agencies say there's no credible evidence connecting cell phone use to health problems. Here in Middle Tennessee, a Bedford County teacher faces serious charges after an investigation by Shelbyville police. Detectives arrested Brian Allen Whittinghill, a history teacher at Shelbyville Central High School, on 7 counts of sexual battery by an authority figure. Police say the allegations involve 2 teenage girls. The school district says Whittinghill has been placed on leave and will have no contact with students. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we're starting that brake tapping to get home, especially if you are eastbound South Loop over to 65. You're meeting brake tappers going northbound on 65 to get to the South Loop. East and westbound 40 between downtown and the eastern split. It's like a parking lot. Goodlettsville got a crash, 65 northbound at Long Hollow Pike. And I should have mentioned this earlier, over on the East Bank going westbound. TDOT says there's still a crash there at Shelby Avenue. And over by the airport, a crash right before Briley Parkway. That's going eastbound on 40, exit 215. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. You know, new year, new you, right? I know you made some resolutions. I know you talked about losing some weight, and maybe you're working on it, but you've also run into that issue, which, you know, we all run into at some point in our lives where you just can't get it off where you want to get it off. You know I'm talking about the love handles or the belly fat or whatever it might be. Well, at Contours, Keith and Stephanie and the rest of the team, they've got a program that works, and I know because I've been through it, right? The red light therapy, it sounds hard to believe, but if you do a session, a belly buster session with Contours, first session, they guarantee over 2 inches of loss out of your torso, and this is real inches now, or that belly buster is free. And it is $99 otherwise, $99 for the first opportunity for you to get in and see what we're talking about at Contours LLC, because they want you to experience it and they want you to know that it works, and it does. It is safe, it is painless, it's effective, and you can lose that weight that you've been trying to get off, not just after the holidays, but for years. And they're running the Murph right now. Ask Keith and the team about the Murph when you call Contours LLC. Contours. This stuff works. ContoursLLC.com or call 615-236-9960. 615-236-9960. Once again, online, ContoursLLC.com. What do you have to lose? Butt inches. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That's what it's all about. It is a First Amendment Freestyle Friday of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It's also episode 959 of our gatherings. We're on TuneIn. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeart. We're on our own app, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You can find us and take us wherever you want to go on your smartphone, your laptop, or your mobile technology. You can also find us on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. See us there. You can watch the sausage get made. Give us the old thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It costs you
absolutely nothing, boys. Yes.
Absolutely nothing. I love it. Absolutely nothing. Just give us the old thumbs up, and there you go. All right. With the First Amendment Freestyle Friday in mind, let's talk with Brad, who it says right under your name, Brad, IPA, which I'm drawn to you online for. Hello.
Hey, how's it going today, man?
Doing well, man.
Oh, right on, man. Now, y'all were talking about IPAs. I wanted to suggest one to old Ken Weaver over there when he finally gets done with his dry January.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you ever heard of a High-Ally or not. Comes in the green can with the orange band around the top and the bottom. It's a nice, real hoppy one, man, and it's about a 7%. It's definitely a sipper, but got a real good smooth flavor, and it might be something right up your alley.
All right, dude. It's called High-Ally?
Yeah, like the sport. It's Jai, ALAI. You
All
can
right.
get it at a lot of gas stations, or if you're feeling particularly squirrely, you can go to the liquor store and they have a double IPA they make, but it's 10%.
Woo!
And I got to tell you, you get 2 of those in me, man, and I'm talking to ghosts. So that's about it, man. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you,
all
brother.
right now?
All right, appreciate you,
good
Brad.
one.
That's good.
A couple of those 10%ers, Ken Weaver will end up in the wrong garden.
Well,
just
you know,
gnoming around.
Well, you know what fixes that is after you have a couple of those, you get you a big old tub of Reese's peanut butter ice cream.
And maybe some fried chicken.
Yes, sir.
Now you got me wanting fried chicken.
Oh,
Weaver.
and the white mac and cheese with bacon in it.
God bless your bathroom. Just God bless
I
it.
will say this: that one downstairs gets a workout.
Good Lord, Ken.
With that in mind, let's move on.
Forever.
Speaking of that subject, let's never talk of it again. Mark is next up. Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm just fine. How are you doing?
I'm great, Mark. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind?
I just want to know where you go get in line to get the Trump deranged syndrome check.
The old TDS check.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lazy check and they got a crazy check, and now they're going to have a Trump check. If we get a Democrat in there, they'll be giving out checks.
Yeah, I mean, it might be in the same office. You never know.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to know. My daddy's 93, and he calls them crazy and lazy checks, and he said, heck, next thing you know, they'll be giving a Trump check. I can't function because I think about Trump all the time. I can't hold a job.
Yeah, he's got me too beside myself. I fear going outside because ICE is going to deport me.
Yeah, and
That
I
kind
was
of thing.
born here.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah. So that's all I had to say. Y'all have a good day. I listen to you every day that Mark Levine comes on.
Well, man, I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you so much. And tell a friend or a neighbor about the Matt Murphy Show. Would you do that for us? I appreciate it. It would not surprise me whatsoever if some Democrat somewhere along the line dedicated or remember when Donald Trump. This is another example of Trump says it's good and liberal Democrats automatically say it's bad. And this is not a big deal, but boy, it is for the liberals. Remember when Trump finally said, hey, we need to do something about this. We need to do something about the fact that every time we hold a state dinner, every time we have any number of people over to the White House, we have to set up tents in the backyard. That's the way that they've been doing it forever. And forever, every president and every political party said, we need to build a formal, like a real ballroom for formal events for the executive of the United States of America to host other people from other nations. And Donald Trump finally did it. He said, you know what, we're going to do something about it. I'm the president, and I can knock this stupid wing down at the White House, and we can put something up, and it's going to be nice, and it's going to be good. And automatically the left was all against it, to the point that their TDS came out, as Mark was talking about, and they said there were several people that were promoting the idea of, if I run for president of the United States of America, the first thing I'm going to do as president is tear down whatever he builds. They don't even know what he's going to build, but they're going to call to tear it down. Why? I just thought of another example, and there are probably hundreds of them. During Donald Trump's first administration, every president in my lifetime said that they wanted to move our embassy with Israel to Jerusalem. It was in Tel Aviv. Every president in my lifetime. We should do that, but we don't want to cause strife. We should do that, but we don't want to cause civil unrest. We should do that, but, there would be violence. Donald Trump got into office, and he did it, and none of that happened. And all of these liberal Democrats that claimed that that's what they wanted to happen, suddenly they were against it when he announced it. Oh, it's going to be violence and civil unrest. And none of that ever happened, by the way. Just another example. Jeff is next up. What's up, Jeff? How are you?
Oh, I'm good, Matt. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great, man. Living in southern Middle Tennessee all my life, just wanted to welcome you to the area.
Thank you.
Listen to WTN quite a bit, a lot of time on the road. Really like the entire station. But I just want to let you know that moving down here, hopefully we can get some of the events that you guys host to spread this direction. You're going to be among your own down here. There's a lot of really red counties.
Well, I love it. I already love. I mean, I've been in love with Murray County for the length of time that I've been here. There's good folk down there. Columbia is a great place to be. I think Mount Pleasant is going to be a great place to be. I'm excited about it, but I'm excited about exploring a little more. You know, I've been to Hohenwald. I've been to what is that, Lewis County, I guess. I've been to a few places down there. I've never been to Summertown. I've never been to Lawrenceburg. I'm going. So I'll do some exploring once we get our feet settled in.
Sounds great. Really glad to have you down here.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it very much. And we'll get down there with some events, too. We are planning. I don't want to talk out of school here too early. But I've had several conversations with folks from downstairs about the 250th birthday of the United States of America. This year is the 250th birthday of our great country. And all across the state of Tennessee, we will celebrate like good patriotic Americans all across the United States of America will celebrate. And there will be many, many opportunities for us to gather together and break bread, et cetera. I think it will start with the State of the Union address delivered by Donald Trump. I know that we're planning on being out that night, and we will have more details about that coming up. We are calling it not the State of the Union. We're calling it the Stake of the Union. See what we did there? You see that?
Did you tell them to do that, Brother Murphy?
It was not. I had nothing to do with it, kid.
Oh, man, you should have said yes.
I would have taken full credit if I could, but I had nothing to do with it. That was Rich and some of them boys downstairs in those smart thinking rooms. You know, they get down there and they put on the thinking caps, Ken. At one of those meetings where they start off, they say, "There's no bad ideas." And then immediately people start popping off bad ideas. Have you ever been in one of those where it's a brainstorming session and people are like, "There's no bad ideas in a brainstorming session," and then a few people in the room start throwing out ideas, and I just think to myself, "Well, that was one." I mean, I don't know what they're smoking,
and
but
they
that was
never come up again.
That's right. Everybody just kind of sits quiet. No, everybody sits quietly. Somebody goes, "Oh, let's put that on the whiteboard," and they write it up there, and nobody brings it up again. No, the stake of the Union, not the State of the Union, the stake. I bet y'all can guess what kind of food we're going to be eating that night. Yeah, well, more on that later. But we were having discussions to the caller's point, and I have wanted to do this since I got to the state of Tennessee, and this year seems to be the year to do it. I want to go to these smaller towns. I want to go in. I want to settle in. I want to do a show there. I want to highlight some of the small, beautiful communities in this Middle Tennessee region.
Yes, sir.
I want to go to McMinnville.
I do too.
I want to go to Hohenwald. I want to go to Shelbyville. I want to go to Crossville. All of these. I can't even think of the number of. Lynchburg. There are so many beautiful hamlets and villages and towns and communities in and around Middle Tennessee. And I want to go, and I want to bring Ken Weaver with me, and I want to bring Jackson Williams with me. And we'll just descend, and we'll just have a good old time.
Well, we will.
I sincerely, we're talking about doing like a hometown tour, where we go to these various hometowns and we highlight the small, beautiful villages. And the point being is that if you get stuck in a little bit of a rut in Tennessee, all you got to do is just flex your wings a little bit and go 50 miles in that direction or 50 miles in that direction, and you'll find some of the most beautiful people and beautiful country on God's green earth. Mm-hmm. You really will. You really will. All right, it's 10 till the top of the hour. Louie is coming up. Thomas, you too, not necessarily in that order, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for USS. That stands for United Structural Systems. What comes to mind when you think of home? I've been thinking about home a lot lately because I've been packing up in preparation for the move. Maybe when you think of home, you think of meals around the kitchen table, movie nights on the couch, or, walking through the front door and knowing that you're safe and sound from all of the troubles that might be outside lurking about. Home is where life happens. It's the center of your existence, really. And at the center of all of that is your home's foundation. At USS, they understand how important the foundation is in your life and how much trust it takes to utilize someone like USS to help protect what protects you. January is a wet month, y'all. We've already seen this, and we're just going to see more of it. When the water starts showing up where it doesn't belong, you never know where it's going to go. Whether it's in your basement or your crawl space, it can become a serious problem very quickly. Let's protect that foundation of your home that protects all of the things that you love so much. The team at USS can do that with you. USSTN.com, that's USSTN.com, or call 615-488-7855. 488-7855. USS, they're more than just waterproofing. They're committed. They're trustworthy. They are USS, United Structural Systems.
Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson in court. His attorneys claiming a conflict of interest. We'll tell you about it at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is on the way. Coming up next, Super Talk 99.7 WT and your calls in the interim. Plus, line them up for Friday. Jay St. Clair will be here. He's going to give us a thought or two on the arguments before the United States Supreme Court earlier this week. He will give us a thought or two regarding the Insurrection Act. And he has answers to every single one of your legal questions. 615-737-9986. Before we get to that, however, as promised, I get to Thomas, who wants to talk about Minnesota. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, congratulations on your house.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Well, listen, I have two questions regarding Minnesota, but first I want to comment on Hohenwald, if I could.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that there's an elephant sanctuary there?
Oh, I do. I've been to the Visitors Center in downtown Hohenwald. That's what led me there.
All right. Do you know that downtown they have one of them little meat places where you buy meat products? They have the best bologna sandwich in the world.
Lord, you talking my language, Thomas. I love a bologna sandwich.
I went in there and got one. I went out the truck and ate it because I do commercial sales. But anyway, I went back there and got me another. It was so good.
All right, so that's near the Visitor Center in downtown?
Yes.
Okay, I am down with that, brother. Do you remember the name of the place?
No, sir, I don't. It's been a long time ago.
But it's just it's a restaurant. It's a little meat and three.
No, it's not a meat and three. It's one of them little, like, local markets where you buy your deli meats.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a restaurant.
Okay.
You go in there and you can have sandwiches made. Like
I got you. I got you. All right. Well, I'm in. I'm in there.
All right, here's
swimwear.
my two questions. Here's my two questions, and I'll hang up because I value your opinion just as well as Jay's.
Well, thank you.
First of all, how come the governor and the mayor cannot be held responsible for the deaths because they did not allow their police to help them? Second, why don't they go in there with water cannons? It's 23 degrees there, and spray their butts down, and I guarantee you with 15 minutes they'd clear the entire area. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Thomas. You know, the first one on the governor and the mayor, and you would have to demonstrate, and this is more of a legal question perhaps for Jay, and he's coming up in just a second, so I might pass this on to him. But my answer would be that you have to demonstrate that they were intentionally denying that and knowing that there would be bodily harm to the individuals, and that knowing is a difficult thing to prove. So you would have to prove more than just an inability to do their job. You would have to prove that they were intentionally attempting to inflict harm on other people. Now, we can believe that, and that's fine. You and I can say it's so, and that's fine too. Proving it in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt is a different matter. On the second point, I've heard the water cannon comment a lot, and you're right. I mean, as much as I would love to see it, as much as I would love to see a bunch of little libsicles running around, you know, with their little pink hats all frozen on their heads. What we don't want is to give ammunition for the mainstream press that's already anti-Donald Trump to have more ammunition to convince people that Donald Trump is this evil tyrant dictator. You try to solve it as best you can with the least amount of force possible, but I understand it. And if things go bad over the weekend for whatever reason, I hope that it's on the table. Louis on the table. Donna's on the table. We'll get to your calls coming up in just a moment. Plus, Friday is on the way. It's 4 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Utah, Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson's in court. His attorneys trying to claim a conflict of interest. They want the judge to disqualify the Utah County prosecutors from the case. One of the prosecutors, Ryan McBride, he says it's just an attempt to delay proceedings.
We think the motion is untimely. The prosecution has subpoenaed witnesses, and every delay that happens, the witnesses that we have now family members of the prosecution being subpoenaed. These people are ready to move forward and get this out of the way. The longer we delay this, the more anxiety that this procedure has.
Court records showed that a deputy county attorney whose name remains redacted has a child who was at the event where Kirk was assassinated. The defense claiming that could influence the prosecuting attorney's office seeking the death penalty due to emotions running high, but also admitted they knew about this back in October. And even the judge questioned Robinson's defense as to why they're waiting until today. President Trump today, while talking with reporters outside the White House as he departed for Florida, saying he does not believe he needs to invoke the Insurrection Act in Minnesota right now.
If I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it.
Asked whether any other entity, Arab or Israeli officials, for example, convinced him not to strike Iran.
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
And what about Greenland?
President Trump is threatening to put tariffs on countries if they don't support his push for the U.S. to acquire Greenland.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security.
European allies have expressed strong objections to the president's repeated calls for the U.S. to take over Greenland, a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. His threat of new tariffs raises questions about what it would mean for trade deals his administration reached last year with the U.K. and the European Union. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And a new federal study taking a fresh look at whether cell phone radiation poses health risks. Health and Human Services says it wants to identify what it says are gaps in existing research, especially as new technologies emerge. The FDA recently pulled older online statements that downplayed safety concerns, but the CDC and National Cancer Institute, they maintain cell phones do not cause cancer. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. We've got crashes on I-24. Both of them are westbound. The first one in Glencliff. It's on the right shoulder right before Briley Parkway, exit 54. The other one is in Clarksville, 24 westbound at Rossview Road. Look for one right now. This is going to be Southeast Split, a crash. Metro Police say it's Murfreesboro Pike right there at 24 and Spence Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, I found myself a better nincompoop. So I'm very excited.
What is it?
I think I got a pretty good one for 5:35.
Where's it from?
What do you mean, where's it from?
Yeah, what part of the country?
I'm not telling you. Why should I tell you?
Because you just want to let me know.
You are you not going first?
I maybe.
See what he's doing there? Weaver, he is obsessed with this crown and trophy.
He sounds like that doctor in Josh Hawley.
That's exactly right. He's all evasive, won't answer direct questions. Hey, Jackson, can a man get pregnant?
No.
Well, you actually were more forthright than that woman was in 5.5 minutes of questioning under Senator Josh Hawley that we played
Although,
earlier
didn't we talk about Weaver getting pregnant in the first hour?
We did. We talked about the possibility of Weaver having little gnome babies. If he eats all that fried chicken and ice cream, the suggestion was that Weaver might be pregnant with little garden gnome babies.
They're just going to pop right out.
Yeah,
he eats all that, kills a woodpecker, goes to sleep. The next morning, the stork brings the gnomes.
But, and before you know it, it's February, and he can pop a cold one.
I'm friends with woodpeckers now, boys.
You have you made amends?
Yeah, I made amends a long time ago.
That's nice of you, Ken. That's good
I
of
love
you.
woodpeckers.
I don't know that they love you so much. You killed one of their own.
That was East Texas back in 77.
Back in the day. You know, things happened.
Right.
Mistakes were made.
That's right.
Woodpeckers died.
There were incomes, outcomes, outflow, inflow, exports, imports. You know, it happened. It just happened. You know what's also happening right now?
Friday.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Hello, friends. It is the 4 o'clock hour on a Friday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. That means it is time for our favorite segment of the week. It is Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is my pleasure to welcome in my best friend, our legal correspondent. He's a good Tennessee man. He's a fine golfer, an even better dice thrower, and he's a pretty good lawyer. Jay St. Clair is with us. Jay, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Jay, how you doing?
If I were any better, I would be free range, Mrs. Beasley. I bet she is in hog heaven.
Well, not quite yet. She's down, she's down south in Montgomery. She's going to be up net. We've got to get the fence in first.
Yeah.
But
Well, you basically got a farmland up there, don't you?
Oh, look, we got 2 acres. I mean, we got 2 acres of rolling Tennessee hill country. So we're very, very excited. You know what I bought, Jay? I bought, Munson is obsessed with those Chuck It balls.
Right.
Those orange and blues.
Oh, yeah.
And we always had those balls, and we would throw them, and our yard wasn't so big. But now we got this huge yard, and now I got one of those. Have you seen those Chuck It sticks?
It launches it.
Oh, boy, we got one. I'm so excited because she goes for it, too, brother.
Oh, yeah.
She loves it.
And then she can bring it back and load it And so she can go out there and play with herself, right?
Oh yeah, I mean no. We don't have the self launcher. I've got the manual guy, but that's a pretty good idea too.
Oh yeah.
Do one of those self launch and boom, and just I just sit back and have a cold beer.
No, it's great.
That's awesome.
Now that's what I thought the 21st century was going to be.
Not all this. Not all the
Still
rest.
waiting on my Jetson car. But the automatic ball thrower, now that's what the 21st century is supposed to be.
Amen. You said a mouthful, brother. Well, get the calls in, get your questions in for our guy, Jay St. Clair, 615-737-9986. You know how much we love taking your calls and taking your questions on the super text line. Jay, I just want to throw one up for you, and I'll start with the United States Supreme Court. And you taught me a long time ago. We've been doing this a long time, and you've taught me many, many things about the law and our legal system in this country. And one of the things you've taught me is, Matt, do not go around speculating on what you think a court is going to do because they can talk all they want in oral arguments one way, and then they might decide another way. And you taught me that years ago.
Yeah, now do not oral argument is at most maybe 10% of the decision-making process, man.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think that the judges are more kind of arguing with each other. They've already made it. By the time of oral argument, they've made up their mind, man.
Yeah.
And so they're just playing, really. You know, when my case was up there, we left and we said, well, we're going to win, and we're going to win 7-2, and Justice Ginsburg is going to rule in our favor.
You thought you had Ruth, and for those that don't know, Jay argued the Goodyear case, Lilly Ledbetter Goodyear case, and you thought y'all had Ruth Bader Ginsburg on your side, on Goodyear's side.
Yeah, I actually didn't argue it. I was on the brief. You know, I handled the case all the way up to the Supreme Court. But when we get there, they get these specialty guys that argue in front. But I was there, sitting at the council table. And now we all left. And we said, oh, yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to be with us, one of the most liberal justices on there. And, of course, she not only wrote the dissent, but she read the entire dissent from the bench, which is very rarely done. So I could not have been any more wrong about that.
Well, all that to say, they had oral arguments. They finally got to this case regarding allowing biological boys to compete in what are traditionally female sports.
Right.
And I don't know, Jay, I have a difficult time doing what I just said that you taught me not to do. Right.
Well, I wouldn't base it on oral argument. I mean, I think I could have told you going into it. I don't even know what happened at the oral argument, but I think they're going to say that states that want to prohibit that can prohibit that.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what I think. Because the Constitution, Equal Protection Clause says you cannot discriminate on the basis of sex. They're also interpreting the word sex in Title IX, and the originalists are going to say, well, when that word was used in that law, it meant biological sex.
Mm-hmm.
And if Congress wants to change that to mean sexual identity, or I don't know what the right word is, but what their profession
gender identity, I guess it is.
If they want to change that to gender identity, they have to change the law. But they did not. Gender identity and sex, biological sex, are not the same thing.
Well,
I'll probably get that one wrong.
No, I hope you don't. I hope you don't. I hope you got it.
I'm often wrong, but never in doubt.
Well, I mean, there was that going on this week, and I thought about you regarding the Insurrection Act, because I thought, oh, that sounds very fancy, and I want Jay to talk to us about the Insurrection Act.
I was hoping you were going to ask me about that, man.
Well, let's go. Let's get into it. So the president of the United States, just to set it up, he's being questioned as to whether or not he's going to invoke the Insurrection Act because of what's going on in Minnesota, specifically in Minneapolis.
Right.
And he was like, well, I could, but I'm not going to, I don't want to, but I could, but I might, but I will, but I could.
He's so funny.
I mean, I will if you don't want me to, I will, but I won't, but I can. And
it would be big. It'd be beautiful.
It would be good.
Beautiful use of the Insurrection Act. It'd be beautiful.
That's right. So, just give us the 50,000-foot view of the Insurrection Act, Jay.
Jackson, are you watching?
I am. What's going on?
Well, Jackson, are you watching?
I am. What's going on?
Well, Jackson, I think guess what I have here in my hand?
Uh-oh.
The Insurrection Act.
You're so smart. Here's all it says, man. And this is here. I'm going to read to you the relevant portion of the Insurrection Act.
All right.
Whenever the president, just the president, vests all the power of the president, whenever the president considers that unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages doesn't have to be rebellion. Doesn't have to be where they accuse Trump of being a what's the word? Where it wasn't going to be insurrection.
Oh yeah, insurrection. That's right.
There doesn't have to be a rebellion. There doesn't have to be an insurrection. There just needs to be unlawful obstructions, like maybe standing in front of an ICE SUV, or running over ICE agents with your SUV. That's all it takes. If the president considers that those actions make it impracticable, not impossible, make it impracticable to enforce the laws of the United States in any state by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws.
Well,
that doesn't take a lot.
No.
And in fact, in the 20th century, hang on just a second. In the 20th century, here are the presidents who have invoked the Insurrection Act.
Okay.
Just in the 20th century, man.
All right.
Woodrow Wilson.
Okay.
FDR.
All right.
Harry Truman.
Okay.
Dwight Eisenhower. John Kennedy. Lyndon Johnson. George Herbert Walker Bush.
That's 7. A lot of presidents.
And that's just in the 20th century. If you consider all of them, there have actually been 17 presidents who have invoked the Insurrection Act. And this goes way back to, this was like, I think, soon after the Constitution was ratified.
Yeah, I think
like in the early 1800s.
The Whiskey Rebellion, George Washington.
Yeah. No, it's that old. And because, back then, I mean, the Constitution says the president is the commander in chief. Right? Well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants to with the army. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that you can't use the army to enforce domestic laws.
Now, and I can hear my liberal friends out there in the audience right now saying, well, Jay, and I know you'll love this because there's some Latin. What about posse comitatus?
Yeah. Hey, Jackson.
Yes.
You still watching?
I am.
You want to take a guess of what I have in my hand now?
I'm not going to try to pronounce that word, but that comitatus stuff that Matt was just talking about.
We didn't plan this, by the way. We did not plan it.
Well,
you know
remember
me.
When remember when I used to show up with that big 3-ring binder?
Yes.
Let me read to you the posse comitatus. Whoever, except in cases and under circumstances expressly authorized by an act of Congress. Let me read that part again because this is important. Except in cases or circumstances expressly authorized by Congress, no one can willfully use any part of the armed forces as a posse comitatus. Well, the Insurrection Act authorizes the president to use the armed forces to suppress obstructions, combinations, or assemblages.
So that's the congressional authority that the president needed.
That's exactly right. Well,
I like it.
Understand this: the Insurrection Act came first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's way. So you have to understand the historical context of these things. I mean, and the country is formed. Some states have got pretty good National Guard. We called them militia back then. National Guard, and some don't. Right, and they can't defend themselves. And so if a bunch of French want to go down and take Georgia, and keep them from winning the national championship, well, then we can send the Yankees down there to help out Georgia.
Right.
So that goes back to the founding of the country. You want to take? Let me see. I've been picking on John. Hey, Ken, you listening?
I'm here, Brother Jay.
I'm going to really test your knowledge and kind of common sense.
Well, I'll fail.
The Posse Comitatus Act, what it's saying is, well, wait a minute, you federal government. Don't you send soldiers out into the country to enforce the laws in states. It's the states' rights to enforce their own laws. So we're not going to let the federal government do that, except in these rare circumstances. When do you think that law got written?
Boy.
It's maybe when there was some
Civil War?
Just after the Civil War. It's exactly right.
Boom.
It was during Reconstruction, you see, when the feds were coming down to the South, like carpetbaggers.
Right.
And they were running all over the South. The South wasn't enforcing laws. So the feds came down here. And they came down here with the Army. So that's what the Posse Comitatus Act is all about. The Insurrection Act came 80 years earlier. And when they wrote the Posse Comitatus Act, they accepted the Insurrection Act from it. Let me read it again. Except in cases and circumstances expressly authorized by Congress. Well, Congress
had already, makes sense. They had already done that. Yeah, 80 years before.
Earlier.
Yeah.
So he's got the right, man. And they can't second guess it. It's the way it's written. It says this is solely the president's decision. It's never been challenged.
Well, you make it clear that the president of the United States has the authority, and I think that our friends in Minnesota and elsewhere know that.
That's right. That's right. He's not restricted by law, man. He's restricted by politics,
right,
and appearances, and what he thinks is best.
Well,
but he has the legal right to do.
Well, and you and I have spoken about this before. I mean, as much as some in the media want to caricature Donald Trump, I mean, Donald Trump, he's a smart guy, and he understands what's from an optical standpoint, what's going to look good, what's not going to look good,
right.
And he's not going to throw the military on the streets of Minnesota just because he wants to.
No,
I firmly believe that he would only do that if he felt like he had to in order to protect civilians and people who live up there.
I think you said that exactly right. He would not do that to score political points. He would not. I don't think he would do that for any other. I really think getting shot has changed him a lot, man. And a lot of people have said this.
Yeah.
And that he really has a respect for human life. Every time he talks about the war, in Ukraine, he just keeps talking about it. They just keep butchering each other. We got to stop this.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think he would only do it if he decided that that's the only way to stop people from being killed.
Well, I love it. I love it when you talk the Latin, and I love it when you teach us about the history of the laws in this country. There's Jay St. Clair. All right, in a moment, Jay's going to take some of your questions. Dwayne and Jack and Clay and Linda, they've already lined up for us. It's Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I am so excited. I talked to the good folks at Better Water LLC. today. And they're coming to my house, and we're going to do a full home evaluation and find out exactly what I need to make sure that my water is what I want it to be. I mean, from under the sink to whole house application, they can do it at Better Water. They remove sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, E. coli, everything from your water. I admit that I'm somewhat of a water snob, not so much with the shower and whatnot, but the water that I drink coming out of the fridge or coming out of the tap. Well, at Better Water LLC, I don't have to worry about that. They have water softeners, specialized filters, UV lights, you name it, they do it. They're based out of Smyrna. They're local. I love that too. They treat all of Middle Tennessee. These are the guys that treat the water at the coffee shop. They treat the water at the hospital. They treat the water at Murphy-Lago, and they're going to treat your water too if you make the call that so many others have made to Better Water. Better Water LLC, betterwater.com. That's betterwater.com, or better yet, give them a call. Tell them I sent you. 615-355-6063. 355-6063 for Better Water.
Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson's attorneys claiming a conflict of interest and wants the judge to disqualify the Utah County prosecutors from the case. They're in court today. One of the prosecutors calls it a tactic to delay proceedings to try to get a more favorable prosecutor who might not seek the death penalty, but Robinson's attorneys denying that.
This is not about seeking a lenient prosecutor. This is not about tactics at all.
So court records show that a deputy county attorney has a child who attended the event where Kirk was assassinated, and now the defense is claiming that could influence seeking the death penalty due to emotions running high. But they've known this since October, and even the judge asked why the defense was waiting until today to bring this up. President Trump today, while talking with reporters outside the White House as he departed for Florida, promising lower prices on prescription drugs.
Other nations, whoever pays the lowest in the world, that's what we're going to pay. Right now, we're paying sometimes 10 times higher than other nations. So we have favored nations. That's been approved. Other nations have, for the most part, agreed to it. And they had no choice, otherwise we were going to put tariffs on them.
And asked why he decided not to strike Iran just yet.
Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday, and I greatly respect the fact that they canceled.
Health and Human Services opening a study into the potential health effects of cell phone radiation. It follows direction from the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again initiative. The FDA has since taken down web pages that once said cell phones were not dangerous. Several federal agencies continue to say there's no solid evidence linking phones to cancer or other diseases. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Franklin got a crash reported 65 southbound at I-840. Still 2 wrecks showing westbound 24, the first one in Glencliff. It is right before Briley Parkway. And then in Clarksville, westbound 24 at Rossview Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hey, hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about the one and only Glock store. So, you know that when the name is the Glock store, they're going to have every Glock in stock. They're going to have all of the latest parts, all of the latest accessories, everything that you know and want for your Glock. Well, now they've got the brand new Gen 6s coming in. And I would love to tell you that you can run out and you can grab yourself a 17, you can grab yourself a 19, you can grab yourself a 45. But the bottom line is this. With pre-orders, these things have been so popular, as soon as they got them in, they were out. But here's the deal. If you are interested in a Gen 6, they have them in the rental lanes. You can go and test a drive one, if you will. You can see it. You can feel it. What the heck? You can shoot it. You can place your pre-order. And when you do, tell them you heard about them on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and you will get a free magazine with that purchase. When it comes in, they'll hand you that free magazine, and off you go. Now, these new Gen 6s, they have the RTF6 texturing. They have the enlarged beaver tail flat face trigger, the trigger guard undercut, integrated thumb rest. They've got it all, and these are the most refined stock Glocks ever produced from Glock. The Gen 6s are all of that. Go find out more at the Glock store this weekend. The 17s, the 19s, and the 45s you can pre-order, and when you get them in, you'll get that free magazine by mentioning my name. At the one and only Glock store, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere.
truth, real conviction, zero permission. This is the CJ Pearson Show.
The CJ Pearson Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Totally changed my life. It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible. This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life. It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
What are you waiting for? Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Hypnosis Design.
The Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We shall go swiftly because a lot of you are on the phones, a lot of questions coming in on the Super Text line. A very popular segment. It is Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let me clean a couple of things up. Number one, 0110 has written in and says, I think my hearing is starting to go because I could swear that I just heard Jackson Williams say commie tatas. That's not what he's.
There's this funny movie of James Gardner called Tank, and the Posse Comitatus Act is involved. It was this country sheriff that he said, "Well, I can't do that because of the Posse Comitatus," and he thought he called him a name.
No.
and the second word, he thought I heard communist, so he thought he was calling him a posse communist, but he got the first word wrong too. It was hilarious.
That's good. That's good. And another person thinks that they heard me wrong when I referred to my home as Murph-a-Lago. No, that's what we're calling it, everybody. We're calling it.
I got it. Not Mar-a-Lago.
Not Mar-a-Lago. It's Murph-a-Lago. That's right.
Got that.
That's right. All right. Let's see who has been holding along. I think it's Linda. Linda, you are on with Fry, J, and J St. Clair. How are you? Hey, Miss Linda, you there? Uh-oh. Miss Linda. I'm going to put her on hold. You there, Miss Linda? All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Linda, and we're going to go to Jack, who is up with Fry J. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jay, I got a question as concerns that ICE officer up there that had to shoot that woman.
Right.
Somebody started a GoFundMe to pay his legal fees. And the way I see it, that man was working for us, enforcing our laws. And I don't see why on earth he'd have to be stuck with civil or criminal fees. Why aren't we taking care of that? Why isn't, the DOJ or whoever covering him?
I suspect they may. I hadn't looked at that, Jack. There may be some laws about that when officers are sued individually, but I bet you he also has an insurance policy to cover that. Trump will listen. If Trump has to write a check on his personal account, he will. So he doesn't have to worry about lawyers. I'll bet you pigs to polecats that his lawyer will be paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand why he should even have to be concerned about it. So that's all. I just wanted to kind of voice my opinion on it. If someone had to make a GoFundMe, you'd think they'd already have that covered.
But I would also say this, and I agree with Jay completely, Jack, but there have already been maneuvers. I think the family of Renee Good has hired the folks that represented George Floyd already.
That's all right.
And so they're going to be lawsuits.
Yeah, he'll get sued.
Yeah, but I agree with Jay. I think there are plenty of lawyers that are willing to take that up. What is that called, Jay?
Jack.
Oh, I lost Jack. I lost him. That was
on
me.
I was going to ask him, Ken, Jack, what does it take to file a lawsuit?
I bet Jackson can tell you. Jackson, what does it take?
$140 and an orange crayon.
I love the orange.
It does not have to be orange.
Go Vols. In my court, it does.
I would love to see Jackson with a black robe and one of those wigs those English guys used to wear.
Yeah.
That would be good. Dwayne is next up on Friday. Dwayne, what's going on?
Sir, how are you doing today?
Good.
Hey, listen, I have worked with Mr. Sinclair before, and he's a very good stand-up person, and he doesn't remember because it's been several months ago, but the advice he gave me was worth the price I paid for it, which kindly was nothing. He just gave me some really good advice. Hey, I have a situation, Jay. My mother got a solicitation in the mail, and she actually replied to it and wanted a quote for some new windows, famous brand name window.
Right.
Everybody will know it if I said it. But long story short, it was a quote. And they told her, you need to sign here for the quote. She did. And they called her back in 2 weeks and said, we're going to be able to put these in next week. And she's like, no, I think I've changed my mind on this. Well, what they had given her was a contract. And now they told her that she'd have to pay $6,000 to get out of that contract, which the whole order was $8,500 or something like this.
Right.
So because the windows had already been built or made or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then she ended up having to stop them from calling, about wanting to set up that they have to set up. So she wrote them a check for $6,000.
Oh, no.
Get out of the contract before she told anybody what was going on. And she has received no services nor windows. But yet on her credit bureau, there is an open account, and it still shows $6,000 is owed.
Is this your mom?
Yes, sir, it is. Unfortunately,
here's what. Dwayne, this is a perfect case for her to file a lawsuit without a lawyer. She will win this case. I guarantee you she'll win. This company is not going to hire a lawyer to come down there and defend a fraudulent $6,000 charge against her. And it honestly, it only takes two things, $140 in a crayon. What county does she live in?
Bradley County.
Yep. Well, then it'll be easy to do that. Go to the Bradley County General Sessions Court website.
Yes, sir.
And most of these websites are very user-friendly. And she can file her own lawsuit. Maybe you can help her. And if you have
we have retained an attorney in the county that's actually a friend of ours. He's done a lot of estate planning, some other stuff.
Yep.
And he's offered to write a sternly worded letter, as they say, to start with.
Well, I mean, that's a start, but I don't think that'll be success. But that's the right start. That's absolutely the first start. So do that. And then, if that doesn't work, then hopefully he can file a lawsuit. It won't take much. And you're going to win that case.
Well, and that's the reason I say she's received no goods, no services.
Yeah, no, that's right. And the whole thing was a fraud.
Yeah.
They'll say, well, we sent you a contract and you signed it. Well, that's not what I understood. There wasn't a meeting of the minds. There's actually this concept in the law called mistake. And when somebody doesn't understand what they're signing, they're not bound by it. Okay. So you win that case. Have the lawyer write a lawyer letter. Make sure he says cease and desist in it. And then if that doesn't work, then go forward. If he won't file a lawsuit, do it yourself. Call me. I'll help you do it.
Yes, sir. No, that's Matt's favorite words are cease and desist.
Well, that's right. You got to say them both. You got to say them both, though, Dwayne.
Yeah, you got to have them both. But thank you very much, Jay. You had advised me on some legal matters with a large major home improvement company that owed us.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember. And that worked out, Dwayne?
Well, it worked out in the fact that we got the principals, but one of them fled to South America, South of Africa, I think it was. So, so one of them took off with about $8 or $9 million of another company's money, but not mine. I got mine.
Yep, good. Well, I'm glad that worked out, Dwayne.
Dwayne, let us know how it works on this front, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, good luck to you, Mama. I appreciate you. 615-737-9986. Let me try Linda one more time. Linda, you there? Ms. Linda. Linda. Well, I don't think.
Hello?
Hey, Linda, you there?
Hey, I was about to say I'm lying here with Linda on my mind.
Well, she's here.
But let me tell you what. That's not my name. It's Rita, R-I-T-A.
Well,
that was the problem.
Well, that was the
But
trouble.
Gotcha.
That was the trouble. Jackson will get a demerit for that mistake, Ms. Rita.
All right. So here's my question is about probate versus trust and all this stuff. Let me give you some background. I went to one of those meetings where they try to sell you on a trust and all the things, kind of like a window and hearing aid salesman. And so in my situation, I became a widow 2 years ago, and it was very easy for me to settle everything up on my own. And so and now I have a will. I have designated beneficiaries on my mutual funds. I have an executor. My daughter is co-owner on my bank accounts. There's no debt. The only thing is I have a condo, and I understand that there's not one of those clauses that I can do in Tennessee that's called home something or other on death. Now, I understand because of that home, it probably will go through probate. That's my first question. The second question, it can't cost a fortune because it's not going to take a long time because it's so simple at this point, but it might take a while, which my family doesn't care that it's going to take a while. So what do you recommend?
You know, every situation is different, Rita. It's really hard for me to give full sound legal advice on just a 2-minute conversation. But what is the, I don't mean to, is your total estate worth more than $1 million?
No. Not yet, but if Trump stays in long enough, maybe.
Rita, I liked you at first. I really like you now.
That's good.
How many heirs do you have? How
many what?
Heirs. How many people will take under your will?
There'll be 3.
Do they get along with each other?
Yes.
If I were you, I wouldn't do a trust.
That's
you're
what I
right. Going through that process, the probate will not be complicated for you. And one thing you can think about, you got to be a little careful about this, but you know, before you pass or meet your maker, you know, you were saying about transferring on your death. You can actually deed it to have a joint tenancy with right of survivorship. And so that would go outside probate. I mean, there's a way to do that, or you could go ahead and put it in your kids' names. But with 3 of them, you know, I don't know how that will work. But now, if I were you, let me just say it that way, I wouldn't do a trust because your probate case is not going to be complicated.
Right. Well, that was my thinking too. I didn't want to spend $2,000 when maybe I could spend $500.
That's right. No, you're a good lawyer, Rita.
Okay, thank you. Just
Thank
call
you,
me
Rita.
anytime I can help you.
Did you hear what she said, Jay?
No, what she said?
She said, just call me anytime. I can help you out.
I love your audience.
I do too. They're so good. They're so good. I had a fella just said, it said, please end every phone call from now on with good luck to your mama and them. But I guess that's the way I ended the phone call with the previous caller. Let me talk with Clay, who's next on Friday. Hey, Clay.
Hey, Matt.
What's on your mind, Clay?
From Murray County.
Well, thank you, brother. I'm proud to be there.
I'm here in Columbia, but my dad and his wife lived in Coleman, Alabama, and they had a timeshare, and they tried to get me to take it over several years ago. I told them I wasn't interested, but then they alluded to, well, you'll get it when we're gone. Now they're both deceased, so I wonder what my rights are as far as can I refuse that timeshare?
I would. They're a racket. I mean, you can't get out of it. You got to pay to get out of the timeshare. So you're probably not going to use it. Where is it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I would not take that. I absolutely would say I don't want it. It's going to be a headache. They keep charging. There's no way to terminate the contract, Clay, and they'll just keep charging you. You're not going to use it. So I do not take title to that property. If somebody tries to give it to you, tell them you don't want it.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
You can return. Right. You can refuse any gift you want to. I gave Matt probably the best University of Tennessee jacket that I've ever seen, and he said, "No,
no." That's right. And I ain't taking it, and I'm not going to take it. I don't have to take it.
And don't take a timeshare.
I don't understand how people keep getting roped into timeshares. I don't. I mean, and maybe I just don't get it. But
well, snake oil salesman.
Yeah. Well, I guess I say that, but I think I know what they. I mean, they do these weekend junkets, and then they do the hard sell on you, and they make you feel guilty.
But they don't ever think about what the end looks like. No one thinks about, well, how do I get out of this?
Right. Right.
They just don't. They don't think to answer that question.
Right. They just like they get them all worked up about the excitement of, oh, it's going to cost you so little money and yada yada yada. Question from for Jay from the super text line. I have a loan company that I've never worked with, never applied with, and never had any dealings with that calls me nonstop. I pushed the number 9 to be removed from their list numerous times. I've talked to representatives 10 plus times. I've even told them that I'm on the do not call registry, and I've referred the number to the do not call registry list, yet they continue to call. Will I get in trouble if I start blasting them with an air horn every time they call me?
You know, are you the guy that puts those boxes of poop on the front door so that it looks like an Amazon delivery? And then when the guy comes and gets it, it blows up and covers him with dog mess? You know, I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
They're going to have a hard time proving any actual damage. I'd keep it below 100 decibels.
Yeah.
I'd shoot for about 90 decibels.
I like it. It reminds me every time I think about one of these calls. I've told this story numerous times. My grandfather hated telemarketers, hated them.
Well, we all did.
And he would get so mad at them. And one weekend, it was like on a Friday. It was during the week I was down there, and a phone rang, and my grandpa answered it, and he was hard of hearing. And he answered it in the kitchen, and I could hear him just blessing some guy out, just giving him the business up and down. I don't ever call here again. And he slammed the phone down. And about 3 minutes later, the phone rang again. And he told me to get it. He said, you get that, darn telemarketers. And I answered the phone, and this poor fellow on the other end, he said, I promise I'm not selling him anything. I'm his insurance company, please. This poor guy had been trying to get a hold of my grandpa for a month.
Yeah.
And Bob would just bless him out every time he called to hang up on him.
That's funny.
But my grandma used to have a whistle by the phone, Jay.
Yep.
And that's what she would do.
I like it.
Let's see. Can I get one more? I think I can. I can get one more.
Yeah, and I'm happy to stick around as long as you like.
Well, you know, I got the redheaded stranger coming up 5:05. She's interrupting. She's interloping, Jay. So
My word.
I know. But let's get to George. George, you're up with Fry Jay. What's on your mind?
Hey, first off, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. J, I got a quick question about insurance and everything. Can you answer something about that?
Yeah.
Yep, fire away.
All right. So my wife and my mother-in-law were in an accident a while ago, and the other guy's insurance company has been reaching out to them, trying to get them to pay $9,000 something and threatening to take away their licenses and their cars and registrations and all this other stuff. And we've been trying to get representation, but we haven't had any lawyer in Tennessee take the case yet.
Well, did you have insurance on your car?
Well, it wasn't my car that wrecked. It was my mother-in-law's car. My wife was driving the car.
Well, did she have insurance on her car?
Yes, sir, she did.
Well, just turn it over to the insurance company. They'll deal with it.
Well, the insurance company won't talk to my mother-in-law for some reason.
The insurance company that she's sending money to won't talk to her?
Yes, sir.
Well, that makes no sense. Who's the? Well, we won't say it on radio. But no, I mean, you paid good money to get insurance, and this is exactly what it's supposed to cover. If they won't talk to you on the telephone, do you have an insurance agent, a person you deal with?
That's all my mother-in-law. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, does she have an agent?
Like I said, sir, I don't know.
Well, she needs to find out. She needs to, if they want, let's just say it's, I don't know. Let's say it's that lizard.
Yeah.
And the lizard won't talk to you. Well, I go down to the lizard's office, and I look somebody in the eye and say that it's time for me to get the value for the insurance payments I've been making. You don't need to go hire your own lawyer. That's what you buy insurance for.
Well, and then we've been in dispute about his insurance company saying that it's my wife's fault.
I get it. But that's why. I understand that. But that's a fine for the insurance companies to have.
Okay.
So
appreciate it.
the advice is then
that's why this is exactly why you buy insurance. And if they won't do their job, what we'll do, sue the insurance company.
Go in person. Go in person is, I guess, what the message is.
That's right. If they won't talk, which doesn't make any sense to me, but it must be a fly-by-night insurance company. But I'd go look somebody. I'd look somebody in the eye. But yeah, that's what you got to do.
Okay.
All right. Let us know how it goes, George. I appreciate you. And I appreciate Jay St. Clair. Jay, in the final minute or two that we have here, I am leaning on you, my best friend in the world. You are a wealth of wisdom. And young Jackson, Jay, is about to embark this weekend on an investment seminar at a location that is known to both you and me.
Huh? Does it have the word river in its name? Or does it have the word strike?
Yeah. Now we're getting close to it now. All right.
So I forgot what that other was. Oh, wait a minute. Will he be shoeing a horse?
He might. There's
a strong chance of shoeing a horse.
So I'm wondering if you have any advice for young Jackson Williams.
I wouldn't play the hard ways until you're up. Only play the hard ways on the house's money, and only after you've had enough to drink. That if you lose, it won't matter.
That's good advice, Jackson.
And I also say this: the fairest game in the casino is craps. That's just a statistical fact.
Well, Jackson told me earlier today, Jay, that he was going to play some bubble craps, and I said, Jackson, you need to get off those bubble.
You're a full-grown man. Don't go play tiddlywinks. But if you play it correctly, man, Matt can show you. It's not that hard to learn. The house only has about a 1.8% advantage on craps. No other game in the casino is that good. So my advice is shoot craps. Just only play 3 numbers. Play the pass line, have 2 combats, and then if you get $100, $200 up, and you've had all them free drinks, play a hard 10 for me.
Hard 10 for Jay, Jackson.
Hard 10 for Jay.
There you go. Jay, love you, brother. We'll talk to you again soon.
Love you, man.
All right, take care. There's Jay St. Clair. That's Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Grace Point Healthcare is affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine in a direct pay format. Friends, you need to be doing it this way, not the other way around, because in a direct pay format, you know exactly what it's costing you up front. You have the Smart Care plan to take care of you. Grace Point Healthcare never wants the insurance company to get into the way between your relationship with their doctors, and they don't allow it to happen. Plus, they believe in treating you when you are sick. Not next week or 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, but right now. No long wait times in the waiting room. They're your primary provider that treats the entire family from newborns to seniors, and they can see you today or next day. That's what it's all about. The Smart Care plan takes care of you, and you can pay it out of your HSA account, which is very important. Grace Point Healthcare treats the entire body in a comprehensive approach. They're located in Franklin, and they want to see you. 599-6868. 599-6868 or online. You can also find them in the heart of Franklin. Tell them that I sent you to Grace Point Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way.
Full forecast traffic in 5 minutes, and Charlie Kirk's accused assassin in court today. Tyler Robinson's attorneys claiming conflict of interest because a child of one of the Utah County prosecuting attorney's office was present at the event where Kirk was murdered, and they claim that could influence why they're seeking the death penalty.
I understand. There are witnesses here. People are ready to go. We think that the court should either accept briefing or agree with us that the referral is appropriate.
Well, the Utah County prosecutor says Robinson's attorneys are just trying to delay proceedings to try to find a more favorable prosecutor, one who may not seek the death penalty. Right now in Middle Tennessee, a Shelbyville Central High School teacher's been arrested on multiple child sex crime charges. Police say 43-year-old Brian Allen Whittinghill is accused of having inappropriate contact with 2 teenage girls over several years. Investigators report the alleged behavior began in 2023 and continued into 2026. Whittinghill is now on administrative leave, and school officials say the alleged incidents did not occur on campus. Election 2026, Tennessee U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty filing his paperwork today to run for re-election, making the exclusive announcement on WTN's Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis this morning.
Most challenging thing I've ever done when I did it back in 2020. But now it's my opportunity to run for re-election and really shift into the next gear for the people of Tennessee. It's been the honor of a lifetime.
Hagerty points to the cooperation of Tennessee officials with ICE for the program's success in Memphis compared to what's going on in Minneapolis. Nashville's new 29-member Community Safety Task Force meeting for the first time last night. Their goal is to recommend ways they think will reduce violence by addressing what they think are root causes behind it. Channel 4's Braden Ross was there.
Representatives from community organizations and city government services sharing what they're focusing on as they take on this task.
Homelessness as a public health crisis.
The divestment of our communities, right? The fact that they're living in food deserts.
People being worried about citizenship status.
Look at the cruelty that children in our city are witnessing and experiencing.
Tackle homicide like we have suicide.
Between now and June, the group will collect community feedback and write up a report to present to the mayor. Their next meeting is scheduled for January 28th at the East Park Community Center.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. It is like a parking lot. Eastbound 440 over to 24 between 65 and 24. Same goes for northbound 65 to the South Loop. Eastbound South Loop over to 65. Looks like it's particularly heavy east and westbound 40 between downtown and the eastern split. In Franklin, we got that crash on the right shoulder, 65 southbound at I-840. And then in Clarksville, 24 westbound at Rossview Road, exit 8. I'm Ken Weaver.
Halfway home, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Happy Friday, Jan 16, 2026. It's officially, for many of you, the weekend. And I love to do this at 5:07 these Friday afternoons. Thank you to you weekend warriors out there. If you're a doctor, a nurse, an EMT, a police officer, firefighter, any one of our first responders, or if you're a restaurateur, if you own a restaurant or work at a restaurant, maybe a convenience store worker, any place of truck drivers, any place that people work on the weekends that make our weekends more special, safe, and better, we thank all of you weekend warriors on the Matt Murphy Radio Show. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have you guys heard of the squatter hunter? The squatter hunter? Jackson, have you heard of the squatter hunter? I had not. I saw this last night. E made me aware of it. The squatter hunter goes around and so he is now getting solicitations from people who have to deal with squatters. In some states, it is next to impossible to get a squatter out of your house. He goes and he squats the squatters. I'm going to tell you more about this guy. He was almost my nincompoop in the news, but I couldn't figure out who the nincompoop was in the situation, so I picked another nincompoop in the news. But this guy is fabulous, and I'll tell you more about him in the 6 o'clock hour tonight on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Speaking of fabulous, she ought to have a theme song. She's so good. She is the redheaded stranger. No, not that one. She is Pamela Furr, and she is a part of the Super Talk family. She's also a part of the Americans for Prosperity family, and she joins us on the Murphy Show hotline to talk about the new legislative session and her new home. Hey, Pamela.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Wonderful. Wonderful. You tell me what you want your theme song to be and next time, and we'll have it queued up and ready to go.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because I think the rumor has it theme song is done and over with. And Fat Bottom Girls over with. We'll find something.
Your theme songs predate me. You've had them for a long time.
They do.
First and foremost, personal question. Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah.
How's Williamson County?
Okay, I love Williamson County. I love the fact that I've been a resident here now for a little more than a week. What I don't love are all these boxes I'm still staring at. That's the part that is a little was tiring.
Yeah.
But you're experiencing that. I've already packed all of my boxes and had the movers move them. Now I'm unpacking and going to the dumpster every day to throw away boxes or throw away trash bags or throw away crap that I don't need that I still didn't purge enough. Anyway, it's a lot. Moving is a lot, and you're learning that. Again, I hadn't moved in 12 years, I guess, and so, I've accumulated a lot of stuff.
Oh, wow.
A lot of junk.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I mean, I'm just identifying with 3 years of junk and stuff. And, you get embedded. You get rooted,
Yeah, you really, really do. But I have found things that in all of my moves over the years, I've just held on to and just, moved it from one place to another. This time I've done a real deep purge. I found air checks, which you'll understand because you're radio, air checks from 1982.
Whoa.
On cassettes.
Can I get a hold of a couple of those, please? Thank you.
Sure. To see how I used to sound when I was a DJ.
You know what I have, not from 82, but these would be from 93. And 93 and 94. I have air checks from when I did a talk radio show, a 1-hour daily talk show at the college station, radio station at West Georgia College in Carrollton, Georgia. Yeah. I haven't listened to them in 20 years, and I don't want to.
Oh, I feel like maybe we should have like a listening party, and all of our radio friends bring their old air checks, and we drink first, and then listen to them.
That sounds like a winner. But you don't get in if you don't have an air check.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Have to have an air check.
Right, but
To get in
it's
the
kind of
club.
a mutually assured destruction kind of thing.
Right.
All right, let's talk about this legislative session. I mean, obviously, your work for Americans for Prosperity well known, and I know that you guys have some priorities that you are pushing, an agenda that, as an organization, that you would like to see accomplished during the session. Tell me what priority number one might be.
Sure. Priority number one we're calling it the Volunteer Way, and we are hoping to pass the Regulatory Freedom Act. And I want to give a shout out to State Senator Jack Johnson, who will be carrying this in the Senate, and Representative Clark Boyd out of the Wilson County area, who will be carrying this in the House. And basically it makes it easier to repeal all the red tape and bureaucracy that continues to strain our economy. You may not remember this, Matt, but there was a time in Tennessee that Democrats had control. In fact, there was 135 years of Democrats who had control of Tennessee, and the bureaucrats had been on a regulatory frenzy. You're talking unelected bureaucrats who make these rules and regulations. In fact, we've been going around the state right before session started for our legislative previews, we called them, and we had volumes, like 5 feet tall volumes of regulations in the state of Tennessee that it's time to get rid of and get it out of the way so that small businesses, other business owners, families can thrive instead of having to jump through all these bureaucratic hoops in Tennessee. Let's get rid of it. Let's cut it at least in half. It'd be great if we could cut it even further, and let's allow Tennessee to thrive. We're in a great state, right? The best state in the union, in my opinion, but it can always be better. Did you know that we have 8,276,640 words of regulation? Not even Michigan, with Gretchen Whitmer, has that many words. 121,000 rules and regulations, more than that actually, in Tennessee's code, if you will, or regulations. Meanwhile, Vermont, home of Bernie Sanders, only has 83,000 rules and regulations.
Not every regulation is a bad thing, but that seems rather excessive.
Yeah, quite excessive. Tennessee has the 24th worst regulatory environment in this country. So we don't want to be high on that list. We want to get it lower, please. And so that's what we're going to be working. That's our number one priority for 2026.
And there's and we want to do this in mass, right? This is the way to do it in mass?
This is the way to do it. Now there's specifics that I don't have right at this moment. The bill isn't completely written. That's what they're working on right now. And as soon as the bill is written, I can get everybody that information with the bill number in the Senate and the bill number in the House. And then we can look at the absolute specifics of how these regulations can be cut and how we can get them out of the way. So as soon as we have that, I can get that information to you. But again, that is our number one priority for 2026. The other one, which I know people have talked about quite often, it's school choice. We want to expand school choice. I don't know if you heard this, but when they opened up the books to fill those 5,000 seats each year, it grows by 5,000 scholarships. When they opened it up on the 13th, 50,000 people tried to apply once again. So we have quite the need in Tennessee, and we want to see every family that is interested in an Education Freedom Scholarship be able to get an Education Freedom Scholarship. Obviously, you have to look at the budget to see if we can find the money to do that, but that's what Americans for Prosperity Tennessee is hoping that we can do this year for 2026. One more, if I may,
sure.
That's high on the list. We worked really hard for the last couple of years to get a constitutional amendment to ban a statewide property tax. We don't have one. Well, we have one, but it's at 0 right now. We want to get a constitutional amendment that will get rid of it altogether. So we've worked to do that. Now it will be on the ballot in November for 2026. Vote yes on 2 for that. But now we want to cap local property taxes. As you well know, I lived in Davidson County, and they raised my property taxes by more than 30% twice in the last 5 years, and that's the main reason why I'm said I'm done, I'm out. And there are other cities, counties that continue to raise taxes, mostly in blue areas of the state of Tennessee. So we want to put a cap on that. We don't want to get rid of it altogether, although I know a lot of people are calling for that. You have to have, some revenue stream for your counties to pay for county things. But it is ridiculous to keep coming back to the taxpayer and expect them to pay for out of control spending in your cities or your counties. So we're looking at a cap on that. I think Beacon Center is also looking to do that. So we work with them a lot on different things like that. And so that's one of our priorities as well for 2026.
Yeah, I mean, and any time invariably when we discuss capping local property taxes, there are some that want to suggest that it's time to consider eliminating property taxes altogether.
Right.
And I'm not against having that discussion, but I would say that I think we need to walk before we can run. And I think this is a good way to walk before we can run, is to encourage local municipalities to rely less on these property tax increases in the manner that some have done, and encourage them to look in other ways as to getting in resources. Because some of the local, we were talking with Justin with the Beacon Center the other day, and he was saying that, some of these municipalities, 50% or thereabouts of the money that they bring in locally come from property tax revenue. Well, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying it's a reality. But this is a great place to start, and this is a place that I think we can get it passed.
I would think so, too. I think everybody would be on board with that. Any of your representatives at the state level, if they are truly representing you, I think would be a yes vote on this. Absolutely. And I would say the other thing that cities and counties need to do, truly, Davidson County, I'm talking to you, is to look at the spending. Look at your spending first before you come to the taxpayer to write another check for you. So that is one of the things, again, that we're working on for 2026. That is our Volunteer Way policy agenda.
I want to dig a little deeper on certificate of need. It baffles me why people think that in a free market that healthcare is somehow different. And I understand that in a lot of ways it's more important, especially if you have health issues. You want to make sure that you get the health care that you need in your local community. But why do they believe that free market forces operate differently when it comes to health care than it does when it comes to hamburgers is beyond me. But for some reason, you know what I mean? And so I'm all about repealing certificate of need and allowing the free market to further invest itself in some of these communities that are in need of more healthcare options.
Right. So in Middle Tennessee, we're pretty blessed because we have a ton of hospitals around us. So you've got Vanderbilt, you've got UC Baptist Hospital. What is it now? Shoot, my mind just went blank. But at any rate, you've got the St. Thomas system, you've got HCA, you've got all of these hospital systems around that compete for your business, and that's good. That makes that makes me as a patient the lucky one, because now I can shop to the best person, the best doctor for me, the best facility for me, etc. But there are rural counties in Tennessee that do not have that luxury. And sometimes it takes a person an hour and a half to even get to a hospital. And part of that is because these hospitals, anybody who wants to come in and build another facility in the area, they have to show quote, a certificate of need. And this is the best example to describe it. It would be if there's just one McDonald's in the area and a Burger King wanted to come in and build a Burger King. So you would have 2 burger joints or an In-N-Out. You'd have, 3 burger joints, but the Burger King and the In-N-Out has to show that there is a market need for it. And the board that they go before, there is someone from McDonald's on that board. And so, of course, McDonald's is going to vote no for allowing competition to come in the area. That's what certificate of need is. And so we want to repeal that. And the good news is Donald Trump has signaled that he would like to see con laws repealed all across the country, all across the board. And if that happens, he has federal dollars that he can send to a state that then can go to rural areas to help build other, healthcare facilities or what have you. So that is a net positive for the state of Tennessee, even though, again, in Middle Tennessee, we don't really see that kind of problem. But some of these counties, like in East Tennessee, really do have a problem. And these certificate of needs have really put the citizens in a bind when it comes to health care.
All right. I want AFP's help on something, Pamela. I'm pushing Cameron Smith, my buddy, and I are pushing the Trash Panda Act this year. We've got legislation. I mean, I'm serious. We want to eliminate.
What is it? That you remind me what it is.
The Trash Panda. Hold on. I'm pulling out the legislative brief here. It is called the Trash Panda Act. It is the Tennessee Raccoon Adoption, Safety, and Habitat Protection and Nurturing Domestic Animal Act, a.k.a. the Trash Panda Act, because they love their acronyms in government.
Yes.
In Tennessee, current ownership of raccoons as pets is heavily restricted and regulated under current wildlife regulations. We're trying to lift those regulations to allow under certain circumstances and under certain guidelines, because of scientific advancement in healthcare, vaccination, and training, raccoons can be responsibly owned, and we want to allow people to own raccoons in the state of Tennessee. You with me or you against me? You got to be with me or against me.
Well, let me ask you this. So who made this regulation? Is that the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency? Was that an unelected bureaucrat that made this regulation? That is my question. And if that is the case, then I'm for you. I'm not against you.
Well, I think it goes right to your Regulatory Freedom Act, right?
I'm thinking it might fit right in there. Let's do some consulting and see what we can do.
Here's the problem. Every time I bring it up to one of these lawmakers, these highfalutin lawmakers, these muckety mucks, they laugh. They go, "Oh, that's fun. That's funny, Matt. That's cool." And then they go about their business. I'm like, I'm serious. I think we should be able to own raccoons, raise them as pets,
or alligators. Or zebras.
I mean, sure. Well, those zebras now, they can get out. But raccoons are so cute, Pamela. They got the little opposable thumbs. They can open up pickle jars and stuff. Come on.
They are cute, but are they going to bite me?
No. They won't bite you. No.
All right.
No, you're all good. You're fine. They love you.
Do you want a raccoon as a pet, or you just want the freedom to own one?
I want the freedom to own one. I don't. I've been told mixed. I've gotten mixed signals about whether raccoons get along with dogs. I've gotten mixed signals. Yeah. I think they get along better. I think they get along better with cats for some reason. But
because cats will probably leave them alone.
Yeah, right. But I, what? On the whole, if you told me that one of these days I could raise a raccoon from a baby, I think I'd like to do that. Yeah.
You'd like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you've got the property to do that too.
Yes.
Or you can have all the raccoons you want.
Yeah. I mean, have a little. What do you call a group of raccoons? I don't know. I'm going to find out during the break, though. I'll find out what
a bunch. I don't know.
A horde. I don't know. I know crows are a murder. I don't think that's raccoon. Well, look, in all seriousness, we support AFP. We love what you guys do. Regulatory reform is obviously greatly needed. School choice expansion, it was wildly popular first year. It's going to be popular again. Repealing certificate of need, capping local property tax. I'm all about it, and I'm here to support you in any way we can.
Thank you. Well, real quick, and I know you've got to go, February 3rd, we're doing a great big day on the Hill. So if anybody would like to come to the Capitol, we've got lots of meetings set up with all kinds of lawmakers. We'll have lunch there in the Legislative Lounge, which is a beautiful area of the Capitol. If you want to come and go with us, just reach out to me. You can find me on all the socials. People know how to do that, or just go to afptn.org and click on events, and you can find a way to register there. It doesn't matter what part of Tennessee you're in, you can come with us to the Capitol.
There she is, the redheaded not so stranger anymore, Pamela Furr, joining us for a great segment. Thank you, Pamela.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. There's Pamela Furr. I call her the redheaded stranger because we don't talk to her very much anymore. 27 after the hour on Super Talk. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for King and Associates Insurance. King and Associates Insurance protects those things, those most valuable things in your life, like your home and your automobile, two of your bigger investments. At King and Associates Insurance, they protect both with coverage that fits your life and fits your budget. Whether you're a first-time homeowner, a growing family, shopping for better automobile rates, they make it simple. They don't push you into any situation. They present the information to you. They give you honest advice, personalized service. Here's what I love. They shop from a number of different insurance companies. They don't work for the big insurance companies. They are local and independent. That means they work for you. They kind of flip the script there. They don't work for the insurance companies. They work for you. tkinginsurance.com is the website to find out more. tkinginsurance.com or call 329-8121, 329-8121. Friends, I just did this with my new house. I bundled with auto. I saved a lot of money as a result of doing that. I saved money. I moved from an automobile insurance company that I'd had for years and years and years, thought I had the best rates around, and I got better rates with T. King Insurance and Company. So King and Associates Insurance, they protect what matters most. Give them a call today.
Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin Tyler Robinson is in court today. His attorneys claiming a conflict of interest. They want the judge to disqualify the Utah County prosecutors from the case. The judge questions the timing, like, why did you wait until today? And one of the prosecutors, Ryan McBride, says it's just an attempt to delay proceedings.
Some of the issues that have been brought up in some of the case law regarding creating or alleging conflicts. There's a lot of case law that talks about how it can be a tactic to try and remove cases from one prosecutor's authority to find a more lenient prosecutor, find a more favorable prosecuting authority that's not going to seek, for example, in this case, the death penalty.
Court records show that a deputy county attorney has a child who attended the event where Kirk was murdered, and the defense is claiming that could have influenced seeking the death penalty due to emotions running high. The U.S. Health and Human Services Department's launching a new study on cell phone radiation. Officials say the research will focus on possible links to neurological damage and cancer, concerns long raised by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The move comes as the FDA apparently removed older web pages saying cell phones are not dangerous. Other federal agencies, though, still say there is no credible evidence connecting cell phone use to health problems. Prices for streaming movies, TV, and music are headed up again. The latest price hikes coming from Paramount Plus and Spotify. Paul Erickson, principal analyst at Omedia Media and Entertainment, telling ABC News there may be more room for even more increases.
Our social fabric right now, psychologically, these streaming services are being seen as a utility, an indispensable thing that people will pay for every month. So it might be quite a while before people give up their grip on subscriptions, even as prices rise.
U.S. streaming subscription prices rose 29% from December 2024 to December 2025, according to federal data. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, in addition to the usual slowdowns this time of day on the way home, we've got three, actually just one crash, that is, on 24 westbound. It's going to be right before ML King Parkway, exit 11. And then I'm looking over here in Antioch. We've got a crash on Haywood Lane. It is just east of I-24. I'm Ken Weaver.
You hear what the woman said? Showers clearing out of the plateau. You know, this weekend, it will be cool, but it will be a weekend where you need to get out and about. Maybe you're restocking from the holidays. Maybe you're down Franklin Way. And if you are, I would encourage you to swing by Savory Spice. Really, wherever you are in our community, it is worth the drive to Savory Spice to stock up on those delicious spices. Now, they have the exotic flavors. Holly and David can find just about anything that you need for a recipe in your life. Plus, if you've got a cook or a baker or whatever it might be in the family, you need to get to Savory Spice when it's time for gift giving because they are great at gift giving opportunities. Savory Spice can help you find something for that loved one in your life that loves to cook or find you something for dinner tonight. They've got the Spice and Easy line. I love these lines of products. If you don't know your way around a kitchen, you want to impress boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, go to get the Spice and Easy line. You can put it in the crock pot, set it, forget it, and you have a delicious meal coming up. Thank you to Savory Spice. And they make it so easy. They just tell you exactly what to do, and all the spices are already there preloaded. Spices, salts, seasonings, peppers, they've got it at Savory Spice. Located just off the square in Franklin. You'll smell it before you see it when you walk through the doors. At Savory Spice. Everybody's an expert on the raccoons. Everybody's an expert. 4392 says, bad idea for a pet raccoon, Murphy. A raccoon will whip any dog. They'll decimate a flock of chickens just for sport. By the way, a group of raccoons, I am told, is called, did you look it up, Jackson? I'm a little surprised. You know, I feel like if you were focused and engaged, you might have looked this up. It is called a gaze. A group of raccoons is called a gaze of raccoons. According to multiple alert listeners of the Matt Murphy Show on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. I am being referred to as the Raccoon King. I don't know about all of that. Maybe it has a nice ring to it. Matt Murphy, the Raccoon King. Several of you are suggesting that it would be a bad idea to own a raccoon. I'm not saying good idea, bad idea. Some people say it's a bad idea to own a dog. I would suggest that it's a bad idea to own a cat. If cats were human-sized, they'd eat you. So, you know, to each their own. 3161 says, Matt, put out some cat food. You'll get plenty of raccoons. Yes, Ken.
Says right here, raccoons have parasites.
Well, you know, any animal that lives outside is going to have parasites.
And listen to this. They have leptospirosis.
Oh, wow. Do they really?
What is that?
Leptocirrhosis?
Leptospirosis.
Leptospirosis.
I'm going to look up what that
That
is.
doesn't, Ken, I'm going to be honest with you. That does not sound good. That does not sound like something you'd want to have.
Wow. It's an infectious disease caused by Leptospira bacteria.
Oh, we got to have some more of that Leptospira.
Let's see. What does it do to you? Oh, fever and chills, headache, muscle aches, vomiting, and diarrhea. Red eyes.
That's exactly what I want in a pet.
Ooh, kidney failure, liver failure. A minute. You better not get a raccoon, Brother Murphy.
Well, my raccoon's not going to get that lepto stuff. My raccoon's going to be safe and sound inside the house.
I wonder if there's a vaccine for that sort of thing that maybe a veterinarian can give the raccoon.
I wonder if you can train a raccoon. Let's take a guess, Ken. Do you think you could train a raccoon to use a litter box?
They might just do it on their own.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder what.
Or I bet you could train a raccoon not to go to the bathroom in the house. I bet you could do that.
Their waste.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Looking up.
The Trash Panda Act, by the way, as proposed by Cameron Smith and Matt Murphy, embrace a free market solution to animal domestication. By legalizing raccoon ownership, Tennessee can encourage responsible breeding programs, training services, and veterinary care tailored to raccoons. Additionally, raccoons have demonstrated the potential to serve as animal companions and even service animals in certain capacity, providing emotional support and mobility assistance. Secondarily, raccoons are a hell of a lot better than those stupid, stinky ferrets, which apparently people are allowed to own in Tennessee.
Ferrets do stink. They smell like dirty feet.
Yeah, they do. They do. Have you known anybody that owned ferrets?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to.
Had a neighbor across the street. Her dad was like one of two people at the time in Oklahoma who had license to have quote-unquote exotic animals.
Uh-huh.
And she had a ferret. And one time it jumped on my shoulder. I was sitting on a couch and it landed on my shoulder. And I immediately thought, that smells like stinky feet.
Mm.
It was cute.
Really,
little
that's
fella.
what you said?
I did. I said that. That smells like stinky feet.
I don't believe that this went down like this in any way. That unbeknownst to Ken Weaver, that a creature jumped on him.
It did.
And Ken said, well, that's odd.
Boy, that stinks like feet.
That smells like stinky feet.
But here's the thing about a raccoon, too, whenever it comes to going to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
They like to mark their territory, Brother Murphy.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't say anything about them getting house trained or anything like that.
Maybe you put on a little pair of those underoos. You know what I mean?
Diaper on it.
Put a little diaper, little raccoon diaper.
They are funny little animals.
I love the little opposable thumbs, and they're cute, and they get into the trash cans, and I just love it. Just love everything about it. Louie, you've been holding a long time. We're going to get to you. Danny, we're getting to you as well. Danny wants to talk about raccoons on a First Amendment Freestyle Friday, but it is time for the deciding factor, nincompoops.
Nincompoops in the news.
All right. Here's the deal, friends. It all comes down to this.
Yes, sir.
Jackson Williams has won 2 nincompoops in the news stories this week. 2. Matt Murphy has won 1. Ken Weaver has won 1. So if Ken Weaver wins today, Ken Weaver retains the trophy.
I want to
crown.
talk about this rule.
The retention rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the reigning winner, Brother
Because
Jackson.
it's going to be real hard to get it away from Kent.
Well, what am I supposed to do, man? I'm just telling you.
Make up a new rule.
Well, what would you like? Okay, all right. All right. Let's take that under advisement. Jackson, what would you care for the new rule to be?
Your beard can be no longer than 1 foot for you to have the trophy.
So anyone with facial hair longer than 12 inches is not allowed to retain the Wellness Institute of Nashville Nincompoop in the News Trophy.
Yes.
Son of a biscuit eater.
We're going to take that rule under advisement.
Yeah, I'd send it to summer study.
Yeah. we're gonna have to have a task force on this conversation.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna look into it. Summer study.
Y'all are like Congress.
Yeah, summer study. Well, it's better than being progress. Yes, if Jackson wins today, Jackson wins the week, and he gets the trophy away from Ken. If Ken wins today, he retains the trophy. If I win today, then we have to figure out. But if I win today, then the trophy's going to someone else.
So vote anybody but Weaver, because I'm taking that trophy from Matt.
So here we go. Jackson, you won yesterday. And here's one rule that I would like to change, man. And I think we should vote on it, though.
Okay.
I think that the winner of yesterday's Nincompoops, they don't have to go first. They can decide where they go.
Oh, okay. That's that.
You like that?
I vote yes on that.
You like that?
Yes
I've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, because sometimes the first guy gets lost, and if I think it should be dealer's choice as to who won yesterday, where they want to go, what order the stories are told in. So, Jackson, you have the floor, and you get to decide the story order.
The order today, Weaver first, Murphy second, Williams, the big finale.
All right.
All right.
Ken Weaver.
All right, this is out of the UK, boys. And here we go. You will be able to tell by the way it is written. A mom was left stunned when she received a bill from a woman who invited her son to her kid's 5th birthday party.
A bill.
She explained that her little boy received an invite to the party, which was being held in a local church hall, and readily accepted. The bash had what she called a, quote, standard setup in the hall with a bouncy castle to keep the kids entertained. But she says, a week before the party, I got a WhatsApp from the mom asking for a £5 deposit for Papa John's Pizza. Not a joke. Not a scam.
Not a joke.
A genuine massage message, that is. Massage.
No, massage is what Wang Fang was doing yesterday.
Yeah, Wang Fang, she was doing some massaging. A genuine message asked for payment for a slice of pizza at a children's party. She also said, if my child has allergies, can I please send money for a personalized small pizza? The mom added that she had to read it twice because she thought it was some sort of joke. But she is an older mom who had her son aged 40. She wasn't sure if things had changed dramatically since she was a child. Apparently, dessert is birthday cake, and that mercifully is free, she continued. But honestly, is this where we are at now? Am I just showing my age, or is this weird? She added that back in my day, the birthday party tea was all part of the deal. Triangle jam, sandwiches, crisps, bongo, party rings, and a piece of cake wrapped in a napkin for the road, she recalled. Anyway, a lot of people, they chimed in underneath that story. They thought it was ridiculous that the party host asked everybody to
chip in.
Yeah, send everybody bills.
Mommy, might I have a piece of pie for my puss?
Anyway, that lady's my nincompoop. It doesn't say whether or not they were clothed.
Jackson, you always look at me weird when I say it. It's always going to mean mouth. Always. Thank you, Ken Weaver. That's a good one. Ken's got a good one.
Vote Weaver. Let's just end this thing right here.
I don't know all about that. I have a story out of Prior Lake, Minnesota. Police have arrested a 48-year-old Prior Lake woman just before midnight this past New Year's Eve on suspicion of drunken driving and drug possession stemming from the contents of an ironically messaged paper bag, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the story. Police originally pulled the woman over for swerving on Eagle Creek Avenue in Prior Lake. When police asked the woman if she'd been drinking, she responded with, "Oh yeah, a lot." She then added, without prompting, that she took a Jaeger bomb just before getting behind the wheel of the car and had been drinking Jameson and Red Bull.
Appreciate your honesty, ma'am.
A breathalyzer test came back with a blood alcohol content of 0.195, more than twice the legal limit. Police arrested the woman, and then they told her that they had good authority to go and search her car. When they told her that they were about to search her car, she said, and I quote, "Well, you're going to find a bunch of bleep."
Goodness.
S-bomb.
Yeah.
An officer then proceeded to search the vehicle and found a brown bag with writing on it. And the bag contained a marijuana brownie, 14 individual psychedelic mushrooms. Police then found more marijuana, cocaine, 3 pills of modafinil, commonly sold under the brand name Provigil, a pill of the antidepressant variety. They also found oxycodone.
Boy.
The bag where most of these items was a brown paper bag of the type that you've seen before, and on the bag, clearly marked in magic marker, it said, "Definitely not a bag of drugs." Well, it was definitely a bag full of drugs.
I'll say.
Prosecutors charged the woman with 4 misdemeanor counts of drug possession, 1 misdemeanor count of drunken driving. She was charged with felony possession of psychedelic mushrooms for having more than 10 doses and faces a $100,000 fine and 15 years in prison. Ma'am, have you been drinking? Yeah.
I sure have.
A lot. I've had a Jaeger bomb and Jameson and Red Bulls all the live long night, buddy boy.
What you think about that?
This Prior Lake woman, who was unnamed in the story, is my nincompoop. Jackson? Jackson?
Yes. You ready for the finale?
Well, yeah, Jackson. That's how it goes.
That's
how it
right.
works. Good Lord. You know what? Ken, have you noticed Jackson's got a little bit of attitude now that this trophy's on the line? You notice that? Tell you what, boy.
Just making sure we're all playing by the book here.
By the way, your suggestion that we don't use retention has been soundly rejected by the listeners.
They just like Weaver.
By the listeners. Well, I do have somebody that already voted for Weaver even before I did my story, but whatever.
Thanks, Mom.
All right, this comes out of Florida once again. Felony charge for a TikTok challenge. Cops say teen planned to stream 24-hour stunt inside of a Walmart. Another one of those TikTok challenges has resulted in the arrest of an 18-year-old on a felony charge. According to Florida police, Isaac Hurley was found hiding inside a closed Walmart Tuesday evening as he was live streaming his trespassing on TikTok. Officers were dispatched to the retailer after a 911 caller said that a male suspect was broadcasting from inside the Walmart for a 24-hour challenge. The caller added, was hiding in the dog bed section of the Englewood store.
Good place
Police
to hide.
reported finding Hurley hiding between dog beds and actively recording on his phone. After being handcuffed and read his rights, Hurley advised that he believed he could earn money from TikTok views and decided to conduct a 24-hour challenge inside Walmart. A subsequent review of Hurley's TikTok located a video of him stating he intended to complete a 24-hour challenge inside Walmart, requesting likes and subscriptions. Remember to like and subscribe. Hurley entered Walmart at about 45.
By the way, Weaver is behind you putting the crown on as we speak. That's how confident he is that your story sucks.
Hurley entered the Walmart about 45 minutes before its 11 p.m. closing time. His planned 24-hour stay inside was cut short while some workers were still inside finishing their nightly duties.
Sure.
In addition to a felony burglary count, Hurley was also charged with theft for allegedly taking a $16 iPhone charger from the Walmart. He was freed from the county jail Wednesday after posting $1,500 bond, and a judge has ordered him to have no contact with Walmart. Hurley, who yesterday pleaded not guilty to the charges, told police that he was kicked out of his family home in Knoxville, Tennessee, go Vols, and had only been in the Sunshine State for a week, though it seems he has already become a nincompoop.
All right, there you have it. 53 after the hour. Big time vote happening right now online. Super text lines open 615-737-9986. You can vote Weaver, don't. And you can vote Jackson, don't do it. Vote Murphy. Definitely not a bag full of drugs. Just remember that.
I need money for your kids' pizza.
And Jackson's just hanging out in Walmart in the pet section, TikToking. That's how we play it. Louie, hang in there. Danny, you too. We'll get to the 6 o'clock hour momentarily. It is the Matt Murphy Show. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It really has become a situation that people are voting for Ken just because they like him better than us. You know that, right? It's something that we need to discuss at a future time. Anyway,
I don't believe that for an instant.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm voting for Ken Weaver just because I like him. That's what one said, I think.
That might be my mom.
Maybe. Or dad.
Yeah.
All right, friends, while we tally up those votes, I want to remind you that if you're having difficulty in your intimate relationships, in your romantic relationships, this can be a very serious deal. Erectile dysfunction, and I said it, and I'm not afraid of it. It can wreck your confidence and impact your relationship. And men, it happens from time to time. For half the men in the listening audience, at some point, it's going to happen to you. But there's good news. Since 2014, Tennessee Men's Clinic has helped. Tennessee Men's Clinic can get you back to feeling yourself, and it can get you back to life again with your significant other. They are a urology-based company. Tennessee Men's Clinic is staffed with licensed providers who specialize in men's health. These proven treatments, not some fly-by-night shop online, not some unknown shop that'll send you pills that you don't know what they're going to do. These are proven treatments, and they're specialized and tailored specifically for you. So for $99, you can get in, and you can have your initial consultation. That is the great thing, folks. And there's a place near you, Clarksville. There is a place in Cool Springs and a location right in Middle Tennessee in Nashville, in Midtown, as a matter of fact. 615-208-9090, 615-208-9090, or online, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
Charlie Kirk's accused assassin in court. We'll tell you what his attorneys are trying to do coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Man, oh man, this vote. I don't think I've seen a vote tighter. I don't think I've seen a vote tighter between the three of us.
Really?
Than the vote I'm looking at today. Matt today. Ken got the win. Murphy and his not a bag of drugs. Weaver reminds me of the old Imperial butter commercial with his crown. Might have to look that up.
I remember that.
At Matt Murphy show, I'm casting my vote for all three of you because I want to. Well, Susan.
Oh, that's sweet.
I mean, that's
I'll take that
nice.
as one vote for me, 0 for y'all.
Oh, 13-13. I've got to make sure the host gets at least one vote. Donna says this is a tough one. Ken's the winner.
Yay!
Murphy, Jackson, Murphy, Ken, Jackson, vote Jackson, Ken, Murphy, Murphy, Matt, Jackson, Ken, Jackson, Murphy. I got to count them up.
I think I might lose this
Voting ends at 6:03. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Charlie Kirk's the accused assassin Tyler Robinson in court today. His attorneys are claiming a conflict of interest. They're trying to get the judge to disqualify the Utah County prosecutors from the case. One of the prosecutors, Ryan McBride, says the defense is just trying to delay the proceedings.
We think the motion is untimely. The prosecution has subpoenaed witnesses. And every delay that happens, the witnesses that we have now family members of the prosecution being subpoenaed. These people are ready to move forward and get this out of the way. The longer we delay this, the more anxiety that this procedure has.
Well, court records show that a deputy county attorney has a child who attended the event where Kirk was murdered. And the defense is claiming that could influence seeking the death penalty due to emotions running high. President Trump today, while talking with reporters outside the White House as he departed for Florida, saying he doesn't believe he needs to invoke the Insurrection Act in Minnesota at this time.
If I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it.
Asked whether any other entity, Arab or Israeli officials, for example, convinced him not to strike Iran.
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
Yeah, there was a report today that activists there in Iran say the death toll to demonstrators has reached over 3,000. What about Greenland?
President Trump is threatening to put tariffs on countries if they don't support his push for the U.S. to acquire Greenland.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security.
European allies have expressed strong objections to the president's repeated calls for the U.S. to take over Greenland, a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. His threat of new tariffs raises questions about what it would mean for trade deals his administration reached last year with the U.K. and the European Union. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Well, a new federal study is going to take a fresh look at whether cell phone radiation poses health risks. Health and Human Services says it wants to identify gaps in existing research, especially as new technologies emerge. The FDA recently pulled older online statements that downplayed safety concerns, but the CDC and National Cancer Institute still maintain cell phones do not cause cancer. Here in Middle Tennessee, Shelbyville police arrested a high school history teacher on accusations of sexual battery involving minors. Officers say Brian Allen Whittinghill is charged with 7 counts related to inappropriate contact with 2 teenage girls. The department says the alleged incidents happened away from school property. Bedford County Schools says Whittinghill is now on administrative leave as the investigation continues. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Clarksville, we got a crash reported by the Highway Patrol, 24 westbound before ML King Parkway, exit 11. In Antioch, a wreck Haywood Lane, east of I-24. In Laverne, a crash reported by police, 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Ladies and gentlemen, voting is officially closed. Voting officially closed. It all comes down to this. No, men, I have not tallied up the totals just yet. Voting has just closed. But I will say this. Matt Murphy and Ken Weaver made a run toward the end of the voting. I'm looking at it right here. And there was a run made. Jackson, you probably were a little bit in the lead. I got to total them all up. I will do so. And we will give you that tally coming up in just a couple of minutes on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Now, Louie, what are you doing to me? Louie held for like 45 minutes, and I was going straight to him. And I was going to allow Louie to have the floor, and Louie hung up. And so now we have open phone lines, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you're obviously invited. It's our final hour of the week. We'll call it a weekend at about 7 o'clock when we hand off to Mark Levin. Do give us a call. So you got my audio as promised? All right. So Senator Bill Hagerty made an appearance on Nashville's Morning News this morning. We talk to Senator Hagerty often, as does Dan Mandis, as does Chris Hand. I don't know if Chad's ever talked to him. So Senator Hagerty made an appearance on Nashville's Morning News to exclusively on Super Talk 99.7 WT and make the announcement that he is, of course, running for re-election in 2026. He first won election to the United States Senate in 2020. He is now running for re-election in 2026. And he made that announcement this morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis. But that is not the reason I bring this up. He made such a good point. It was a great interview by Dan. I think Dan and Chris kind of tag teamed the interview because it was about 8:30 this morning when they normally do their, whatever they call it. I hate calling it the crisscross handoff because I feel kind of, yeah.
What have you called it in the past?
I call it the, no, I'm not going to do it.
You've said it on the air before.
I forgot what I called it. What do I call it?
You replaced the last word off with something else.
Job.
Yes.
Yes. But that was an error. I've been told that was an error on my part. It is not the crisscross hand a job. It is the crisscross hand off, which is different. So, yeah, but during that, they had Bill Hagerty on. And great interview, the fellas. And Joan. Joan was a part of the interview process as well. And by the way, Joan, I'm not giving anybody any grief for not eating carbohydrates in the form of bread. I know those boys were giving you trouble this morning, but you do you. Let's not make a matter of taste a matter of fact. I try not to do that on the Matt Murphy Show. And so if it is your taste not to have the bun and eat it with lettuce around it, if you want In-N-Out that way, have In-N-Out that way.
Ooh.
That's what she did. And that's what Chris Hand did. He went, and I'm like, whatever, man. Come on. It's her burger. She can do whatever she wants to with it. Now, I admit that it was a little bit odd that she made the point not to have the bun because she wants to be healthier, but then she had the fries animal style. So I was like, okay, what are we doing?
Just get the bun. It's delicious.
Right. I mean,
grilled on both sides. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, I thought the bun was a delicious portion of the burger as well. Getting the fries would be one thing. That would be bad enough. But now you're getting the fries animal style. I'm a little confused. I also love this too. Mandis is Mr. In-N-Out Burger, right? Mandis has been promoting In-N-Out since he's been in Nashville, Tennessee. Yet, now that it's here and he's trying to get as many people as possible to go to In-N-Out. Oh, do you want to go to In-N-Out? You want to go to In-N-Out? Tell me how it is. Tell me how it is. Give me a review. And then as soon as Joan told him she got her fries animal style, he started berating her for doing it. Oh, no, that's not the way to do it. That gives you indigestion, and that's bad. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, whatever, man. Part of the reason that people have trouble with In-N-Out is you people treat it a little like a cult. You're treating it a little like a cult, where it's not just that you do it. You have to do it exactly like you are told, and you have to like it exactly like I like it. And if you don't, you're not a part of the team. It's like I went and I said, man, good burger, great shake. I didn't care for the fries. And people came at me. And they didn't come at me like, oh, you're wrong or whatever. They told me I ordered the fries wrong. I was like, I ordered fries.
You did.
Once again, if ordering them the normal way that they're on the menu is wrong, then why do they have them on the menu like that? Anyway, Senator Bill Hagerty was on the show, and he said something at the end that I want to replay for you because I think it's very, very important. We watch what's going on in Minneapolis, and Mayor Jacob Frey can't figure it out, and Tim Walz can't figure it out. How hard is this to figure out? And Senator Hagerty brought this point up. At the end of the interview with Mandis and Hand and Jones, he had this to say about the difference between the state of Tennessee, specifically Memphis, Tennessee, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's listen in.
I have one more thing I'd like to bring up with you and Chris, if I could, because we were talking about, insurrection. But one thing that is a stark comparison between what's happening in Minnesota and what is happening in Tennessee is what's happening right now in Memphis with Memphis Safe.
Yep.
And if you think about it, that is the epitome of cooperation with the federal government. It started back in conversations between myself and the mayor of Memphis last summer when I could see that I was going to be finally serving in the majority in the United States Senate and in a position to work with him. His initial reaction, I would say, wasn't positive. I'd been out there for the past 2 or 3 years trying to get my arms around the crime situation while it was unfolding. It turns out that they have a DA that was funded by George Soros to the tune of $600,000 that put him in office, a Yale-educated lawyer who is letting everybody go out there, demoralizing the whole system. But when I saw the opportunity for the tide to turn, began working with the mayor. Again, this is the mayor of the city of Memphis, not the county, not Shelby County, but the city of Memphis, and the police chief there and the sheriff there. And by the time Kash Patel was named in December, we began to work on a plan. This year, after President Trump took office, we began working directly with the local police authorities there in Memphis and federal authorities in Washington, D.C., working up the cases. And very quietly, starting in June at the beginning of the summer, we went in and took out 142 of the worst criminals. Arrested them, charged them on federal charges. The next wave, we took out over 500. That was through the course of the summer. President Trump watched all this, and he said at the end of the summer, you're going to get the full menu, 16 federal agencies, including the National Guard, which is what the left is clutching their pearls about. But 16 different agencies, including the IRS, because all of these criminal operations have illicit revenue streams. We're going to charge them federally. We're going to send them to Leavenworth, not the Shelby County Jail. Today, we have arrested close to 5,000 of these criminals. We're cleaning up Memphis. People call me every day saying, thank you. We're back out on the streets. We're using the playground. We're going to restaurants again. The city is revitalized. Compare that. That's the model of cooperation between local and state authorities and federal authorities. Compare that to what is happening today in Minneapolis, where you have local authorities and state authorities trying to resist the federal government and creating violence, fomenting violence, I should say, that's precipitating all the unrest that we see. Night and day difference, and it all gets down to leadership, and thank God we're from a state like Tennessee.
Well spoken by Senator Bill Hagerty. It's all about cooperation and understanding who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, who you should be dealing with, who you should not. The political left, the leftists in Minnesota, they've decided that those that have broken the law are the good guys. It's really just that simple. And have you noticed, and Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton brought this up when he was on the show yesterday, have you noticed how quiet leftist leadership in Memphis has gotten? How quiet the mayor is? How quiet Justin Pearson is? How quiet Steve Cohen is? How quiet other leftists in local government are over there? Why do you think that is? Because the actions that have been undertaken by the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the FBI, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, other law enforcement agencies, the actions that were agreed to by the governor of this great state, Bill Lee, and the president of these great United States of America, Donald J. Trump, they are working. Memphis has become a model of how it should be done. When local and state law enforcement can't quite get the job done, if it rises to the level of danger in the general population in and around a community, why should not we ask of our federal government for assistance when they are there to offer it? What could be done about the crime in Chicago? What could be done about the crime in Minneapolis? What could be done about the crime in Portland? What could be done about the crime in Baltimore? I could go on and on and on. If only these individuals actually endeavored to stop it instead of mollycoddling the criminals as they have for so many years. For too long, we've been told by leftists that run these major metropolitan areas, boy, if we just had more money, if we just had more resources, if we just had this, that, or the other thing, we could do something about all this crime. And then when given the opportunity for more resources, they turn it down. They turn it down. Why? Because it's Trump? Well, you don't really care that much about your constituencies, do you? You don't really care whether your people live or die, do you? This is not a color thing. This is not an ethnicity thing. This is not a national origin thing. This is not a money thing. This is a law and order thing. This is a people want to go out and go to the restaurant after dark thing. This is kids want to be able to ride their bike after school thing. And that's happening in Memphis. Kudos to everyone involved. And when you go over there to Memphis and you ask the local leaders what they think about it, the silence is deafening, and it tells me everything I need to know. Everything. And I appreciate Bill Haggerty bringing it up this morning on Nashville's Morning News because he's right on. This is the model that other cities should look at. If they cannot get the job done, ask for help. And if you're a local municipality and you need help from the state, ask for help from the state. And if you're a state and you need help from the feds, ask for help. What is the goal? But to provide safety, but to provide safe streets, safe communities, safe cities, safe states, a safe United States. The people spoke loudly and clearly in 2024. They want to stop rampant and unchecked illegal immigration. They want to stop the lawlessness that comes with it. They want to stop the lawlessness that we find in our major metropolitan areas. How many times do people in Nashville or Memphis or Detroit or Baltimore, wherever it might be, how many times do you have to vote blue before you recognize that maybe blue's the problem? Robert joins us from Mount Pleasant, my newly adopted hometown. Hello, Robert.
Actually, I'm in Loretto, Tennessee, but that's not too far below you. At least it's not as far below as Venezuela is.
Well, well, that's funny. I like that. Well, did Jackson just make up the Mount Pleasant thing then? He just making things up?
Oh, no. What it was, I said I wanted to ask a question to you about Mount Pleasant.
Oh, okay. That's my subject. I got you. What's on your mind?
How much land around the house did you get?
About 2 acres.
Ought to be enough. I've got the perfect idea for a pet for you if you've got that much.
A llama?
No, get you a zebra. Remember, it's legal to own a zebra in Tennessee.
Yeah, those zebras jump fences, though, man. I don't think I have a fence.
Invisible dog fences for it.
That's what I probably need. Get a collar on it. I tell you what, I live close enough to town. I could ride that sucker into town, though.
There you go. Oh, and by the way, did you ever get my message about the new Waffle House they opened in Lawrenceburg?
Oh, I did, and we haven't gone yet, but we are going. There's no question about that, and I like that as a backup plan. If this radio thing doesn't work out, I can lean on my experience at the Waffle House in college.
Yeah, they're still doing the 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Training thing. I think when I went in there on the second day, I think they told me that it was going to be a month before they went 24/7.
I like it. I've got to explore Lawrenceburg a little bit. I've not been over to Lawrenceburg just yet, but I'm going to be over there, and I'll let you know, Robert. We'll get together. We'll have some scatter, smother, cover, chunk, top diced.
It got expensive in Columbia, so that's why we moved to Loretto. So
yeah. Well,
y'all have a good one. I appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, good to talk with you. 21 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WT, and I will have the final tally when we return on Super Talk. Hey, guys, in a minute, remind me to tell you how Jackson tried to cheat the system on Nincompoops in the news. He's begging me to cheat it. And he doesn't even know what the tally is. I'll tell you what, who will never cheat you in regard to your heater and your air conditioner, and that is Efficient Heating and Cooling. Sadly, some of the big boy companies, they try to cheat you. They try to cheat you out of a year or 2 or 3 life on that heating unit, life on that AC. Let's not do that, friends. I just had a great experience with Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. Now, obviously, I'm a new homeowner, but I had a little heater issue, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Called Jeff Eddy, and Jeff got me to Roger. Roger got to my house, and in a turnaround less than 36 hours, we were back up and running again. I want to say it was about 24 hours we were back up and running again. And they got me back up and running for a low-cost amount. And, friends, they could have told me that the heater was out. But they don't do that at Jeff Eddy's Efficient Heating and Cooling. They want to fix what ails your system, and only when it is time do they tell you that it's time. Now, they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, and when it comes time, they can select a unit that's right for you and your family. EfficientHVAC.net for more information. That's EfficientHVAC.net, or call 615-784-4424, 784-4424. Call my friends at Efficient Heating and Cooling. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Weaver's preparing his newscast, isn't he? Okay. Well, he will not be able to participate in this announcement. Jackson, you and I think I've come up with a compromise based on this total. I have tallied the votes for Nincompoops in the News, and I think I've come up with a compromise. I get the crown, you get the trophy.
Okay.
Because I won today.
Hey, did you count? I got 100 votes from a daycare in Minnesota. Did you count those votes?
You beat Ken was in third place. You beat Ken by 1 vote. I beat you by 5 votes. By my tally, it was 36 Matt, 31 Jackson, 30 Ken Weaver. That is my total, my tally, and I will split the trophy for the next week with you. I will keep the crown, you keep the trophy, and we will be co-champions.
Ooh, I just heard Ken yell fiddlesticks through the glass.
Yeah, he's I know. He doesn't like it.
It's okay, Brother Weaver.
It's all right, Ken. You'll be all right.
Oh, don't cry now.
Oh, wait, Ken, what? Oh, Ken has officially decided not to participate in the show anymore under protest. My goodness, Ken.
He said he will be back on Monday.
My goodness, Ken. Well, you got to do one more newscast to do. He'll do the news, boys, but he ain't participating in the show. There you go.
Ken, if you never want the trophy again, say nothing.
36, 31, 30, and I did it. I did it straight up, fellas. I did it straight up. Thank you, not a bag of drugs, lady. Appreciate you. Thank you. You bet. A lot. Ma'am, have you been drinking tonight? Yes, a lot. That's what she said. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Show. Got about 30 more minutes to go before we'll call it a weekend. Lots to get into, though. It is opening day in the legislative session, and the Tennessee Star was detailing some of the opening days of the Tennessee, or opening week, I should say, opening week of the Tennessee General Assembly. There are several bills that have been pre-filed, I should say, by some in leadership, to include House Majority Leader William Lamberth. House Bill 1639 would authorize the creation of the Tennessee Office of Homeland Security, which would investigate terrorism, threats, and attacks on school, as well as cyber attacks, misinformation, and disinformation campaigns. That doesn't sound like it's necessary. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. The timing of the legislation seems interesting. Now, obviously, the state of Tennessee, as per Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton, they want to lead the state, or I should say lead the nation, in aligning the state's policies and procedures, the state's priorities with the priorities of the White House, especially when it pertains to federal immigration policy. I just don't know that we need another layer of bureaucracy in order to accomplish that. That's just first blush on this House Bill 1639. I could be talked into it, and we'll have William Lamberth on the show to describe it for us in detail in the next week or so. But that will be a much-discussed piece of legislation offering up the Tennessee Department of Homeland Security. Some people don't like the Federal Department of Homeland Security very much. Just ask the Democrat Party. In the meantime, the Education Freedom Scholarship legislation has gotten a lot of attention, especially considering that well in excess of 50,000 individuals have already signed up to be a part of it. Here's some good news for the state of Tennessee. I'll leave you with a little good news, at least for this part. A nuclear company announced today that it is investing in the state of Tennessee to the tune of $1.4 billion. That's billion with a B. LIS Technologies said it would expand its operations at the Oak Ridge facility, previously known as Duct Island. The company will be building a K-25 uranium enrichment site, which will become the first American origin commercial laser uranium enrichment plant in the world. That's easy for me to say. Let me try it one more time. This company, LIS Technologies, will build a K-25 uranium enrichment site, which will become the first American origin commercial laser uranium enrichment plant in the world. LIS Technologies and their new facility will support American utilities, next-generation reactor developers, national defense requirement to help regain a domestic nuclear fuel supply chain, according to a press release by the state. A total of 203 jobs will be created by the investment. In 2024, the Department of Energy selected LIS Technology as one of 6 American companies to join the Low-Enriched Uranium Enrichment Acquisition Program, which allocates about $3.4 billion. In other words, all of this is part and parcel of bringing nuclear back online, building it up around the United States of America, starting right here in the great state of Tennessee, and secondarily, making us free and independent of other nations that don't like us very much, not only from fossil fuels, but also from anything that we need to create nuclear. I'm a big fan of it, and I absolutely love it. It's 6:31 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Cover Nash is the one-stop shop I would recommend for all health insurance questions and all of your health insurance needs. As a matter of fact, Shane Ring, he helps people every single day get out of bad deals and into better deals when it comes to your health insurance. Like a nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to choose your doctor anywhere in the United States of America without the headaches and only a $250 deductible. You heard me correctly. flat copays after the deductible as well. Friends, Shane understands that it can be very, very frustrating trying to understand the mathematics exam that has become health insurance. Premiums are up again. Obamacare's added again. Sky-high deductibles to match. You don't need this in your life. You need Shane Ring in your life. He can sit down with you in Brentwood in his office. He can also do this over the phone, where he'll walk through your process. He'll find out exactly what your needs are, and he will find you a plan that can save you money, keeping your doctor, keeping your hospital. Skip the government red tape. Self-employed, uninsured, or just tired of paying too much, it's time to call Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Healthcare on your terms, not on the terms of the government. CoverNash.com or call 615-465-0023, 465-0023 for Cover Nash. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Weaver's reign of terror is over. I am pleased to introduce you to your new co-kings, your co-champions for the next week at least. You know, it occurs to me we've got to come up with a different rule because this doesn't. Well, that looks pretty good. What do you think about that?
So what happens next week if me and Ken tie? Do I just get the crown and the trophy?
That's what occurred to me after we did the co-champion thing. That we got to figure.
Because odds are you're losing next week.
We got to figure something else out. So
also next week a short week.
That's right, because both of us are out on Monday.
Yes.
So Brian Wilson is in for us on Monday. I don't think Brian will do Nincompoops in the News. Brian will do his own thing, and that's cool. So we'll have 4 days, and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Anybody but Weaver.
I kind of feel bad for Ken now. I would feel bad for Ken if he had not flaunted this crown and that trophy in our faces for the past several weeks.
I like the trophy.
That's a good-looking trophy. What do you think about this crown?
Looks good on you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. 615-737-9986. 9455 writes in and says, nuclear is clearly a bad way to go. Learn some science. Okay, why do you say that? Use your words and explain to me why you believe that nuclear is such a bad thing. What, 3 Mile Island? 3 Mile Island was in the 1970s. Stephen is next up. He wants to talk about raccoons, and I'm here for it. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, Matt. Hey, thanks for taking my call, man. Yeah, I just want to comment on a couple of different things. First, I was just going to tell you, I grew up in Old Hickory back in the late 80s and early 90s. We had a guy that he used to do the BMX bikes, and he was a skateboard kid and everything. And that kid used to come flying down the hill on his skateboard with a raccoon on his shoulder, like hanging onto his shoulder. So, they can be domesticated. He did have one as a pet. I don't know about the litter box or anything like that, but you can probably look into that and find more out about it. But I do know people that had them as pets before. So, and he probably raised it as a baby on that one. So,
wow.
And I was going to get Yeah, I was going to just get y'all's thoughts, man, if y'all want to do some football talk about the Indiana game coming up. I think it's going to be a blowout, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
The college football championship game is probably going to be. But I'm not the sports expert, but watching Indiana and watching Miami's got a good defense. If there's a defense that can slow Indiana down, it's probably the Miami defense. But I just don't think anybody's got anything for Indiana.
The Hoosiers are like me and nincompoops. Inevitable.
Yeah, I think so. What about Highland Rim? Have you been to the Rim or heard about the Rim, the speedway up there?
I've heard about it. I've not been.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking, we got this back and forth about the fairgrounds that's been going on for quite some time now, and it seems like it's going to be going away. I mean, I think it's inevitable that it's going to go away because it's just, it's a thing of the past, and it seems like the people that really care the most about racing kind of live on the outskirts of Nashville anyway. I don't think too many more of them live within the Nashville limits, but I know I seen you had an interview with a guy there that was talking about the fairgrounds and talking about ideas and building soundproof walls and this and that. I don't think any of that's going to hold, but if you know anybody that knows anything about Highland Rim, I think they should just revamp it and rebuild it and put it right there, put it around the rim, and that way everybody that's got their cars.
Wait, where is Highland Rim? Where is it?
It's up on the ridge. If you're going up 65. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. If you're going 65, when you come up on the ridge, before you get to, it's like through White House. You go past White House, and you'll see.
Oh, no. I know where. Yeah, I know where it is. It's past Ridgetop. It's before you get to Springfield. Is that the one we're talking about?
When you come up on the ridge.
Yeah. I've driven by it. Okay, so here's what I said. One, that's in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but I mean that.
No.
But why would you say? And I understand your thought process that people who live within the city maybe have other interests rather than racing. But there are a lot of people that, as a hub, there are a lot of people that live right outside of the city that very much still enjoy racing, doing it themselves on the weekends or watching. Why do you, and I'm not wagging my finger at you when I ask this, I'm just asking, you think it's a done deal?
I don't think it's going to last.
But here's the thing. You know what Bristol Motor Speedway is not offering Highland Rim? $135 million monetary investment. But they are offering that to Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Well, let's find out who owns the rim, and let's see if we can cut a deal and just get everybody moved out there, because that's where it should be, I think, because that's where your thrill-seeking, adrenaline junkie rednecks are anyway. They're on the outskirts of the city. They're not so much in the city anymore. Back in the 1900s, that was the thing, but we're just in a different day and time, and that whole area around the fairgrounds is just a complete new. It's just a big, a whole new thing there, and there's not too many race fans, so I think it should still exist, but I think it would really thrive up there on the ridge. So. See if you can put some words in there and get something going for us.
Well, Stephen, I appreciate the sentiment, and thank you for the telephone call. I think we're kind of talking about apples and oranges. Highland Rim is a rural, and I don't know a lot about it except I've been by it several times. I store my camper out towards Springfield, so I've been by that location, and I made a point. I had a little extra time one day, and I found it. You have to kind of go off the beaten path, and I found Highland Rim, and it looks like a nice enough track. I'm not knocking it, and I love the rednecks out there. But I think we're talking about two different things, really. There is a historical nature to Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway that Highland Rim doesn't have. It is in the center of the city, and that is attractive to outside money, like NASCAR, Xfinity, and Bristol Motor Speedway. And they are wanting to revamp the Speedway. And in an effort to revitalize that community, they're willing to put that amount of money into it. I think both things can exist simultaneously. Nobody's knocking Highland Rim, but you're never going to get the amount of people there that you would get in Nashville. Even if there are no racing fans around the Fairground Speedway any longer, people will come to the center of just like people come to the city for any number of different events, they will come to the city for an event like this. And I think we're just talking about two different things. I don't want to poo-poo your notion, because I love rural racetracks. I absolutely love, and I knew a bunch of them in Alabama, and I've met folks who have invited me out to different places around Tennessee, and I absolutely love rural racetracks. And I think Highland Rim's great. But you're not going to attract the money or the fan base to Highland Rim that you're going to attract to Nashville, regardless of where it is, and regardless of who likes it around the city. That's just my take on it. But I think both things can coexist and can help one another. 47 minutes after the hour. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, it's my understanding that the mayor is holding some sort of event or meeting at the end of the month about this. In the next several days, I'm told that the mayor's office will hold some sort of meeting. A little birdie has told me that they are planning a meeting at the end of the month. I want to say it's January 27th to address updates regarding the fairgrounds and more specifically the Fairgrounds Speedway. They've invited council members to listen. It's not an in-person meeting. It's a WebEx meeting. But it's my understanding that they're trying to update the fairground situation, and they're doing so at the end of the month in the middle of the day, around 1:30 in the afternoon. So hopefully that's good news. There's money on the table. There's a deal on the table. The charter demands that the Nashville Fairgrounds has a speedway, and it holds racing. They hold 9 events annually. As of now, they want to make it 9 events. One of those will be a NASCAR event. They're going to do sound abatement. They're going to sink money into that project. They're going to spend money on infrastructure around that project. And the only entity that doesn't like it is owned by John Ingram. And John Ingram promised that John Ingram told us how he loves racing. I love it. I'm a big fan of racing. I support racing. And it was a lie from the pit of hell then, and it's a lie today. He's doing everything in his power to try to stop this. John Ingram is behind this effort to try to get racing out of the charter. John Ingram is behind the effort to try to seize that property. John Ingram is holding millions of dollars over the city of Nashville for quote-unquote affordable housing for the purpose of seizing that land. And if we let him, he'll do it. I haven't given up on this yet, and I'm not going to give up on it. And not because I'm a fan of racing, which I am, and not because I'm a fan of history, which I am. I know this. When you lose something that is unique and distinct within your community, you're never going to get it back, folks. There are way too many condominiums in this town. There are way too many parking lots in this town. There's only one Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and there will only ever be one Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, just like there was one Opryland, just like there's one Ryman Auditorium, which was almost lost in the late 80s, early 90s. And if you lose this, there will be people in this community that lament it. There aren't that many short tracks that have been around for this length of time. There aren't that many places that can cite the history that this has. There aren't that many places in the middle of a city the size of Nashville that would support the economic development that would go along with the refurbishment of that facility. And it won't cost the taxpayers a single solitary dime. So encourage the mayor to do the right thing. Support him in doing the right thing. I believe that the mayor, I'm going to choose to believe that Mayor Freddie O'Connell is strong enough. Y'all stop laughing. Don't laugh. Y'all stop laughing. I believe that Mayor Freddie O'Connell is strong enough to stand up to John Ingram. I believe that Mayor Freddie O'Connell is man enough to stand up to John Ingram. We'll see. It's 9 until 7 on Super Talk. Alpha and Omega, they're not new to managed services. They've been around serving Middle Tennessee with computer consultation since 1998. A lot has changed, but this commitment to quality has not. Their services include 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week protection from evolving threat, compliance with all industry, business continuity, and a super fast local help desk. 70% of cyber attacks target small to medium-sized businesses. Why aren't you hearing about this? Because, well, they're small to medium-sized businesses. They don't make the news because of the nature of the business, but they happen on a daily basis. You need to protect yourself. If you don't currently have an IT person, if you don't have an IT contract, if you're trying to do this in-house, or if you're dissatisfied with your current IT, it's time to call Alpha and Omega. Michael and his team, they're going to help you. They are going to fix it. 615-784-0096. 615-784-0096. A&O.net. That's A&O.net. Alpha and Omega. Give them a call. You'll be happy you did. They can protect you. They can protect your company from beginning to end. Alpha and Omega. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, 9455 has reacted. 9455. I said, why do you think nuclear is so bad? I mean, you know what? France does a small modular nuke. We could do small modular nuke. We've done nuke for a long time. Splitting radioactive elements, says 9455, creates long-term waste that remains highly radioactive for tens of thousands of years. Stored spent fuel must be cooled by massive amounts of water to prevent it from heating up and melting down. Fukushima in Japan is a huge toxic issue. The amount of spent fuel being stored at nuclear facilities is a huge number. I'm not an expert, but you could look to learn, not just push big money interest that will be back. When am I pushing big money interest? I don't have any big money interest. Would some sort of nuclear faction please pay me my big money if that's what I'm doing? Hello? Maybe start on an R.F. Kennedy contact like Children's Defense Fund. My hubby could quote you numbers. He's a science guy. Nuclear energy has become insanely reliable, efficient, and very, very safe. I understand that there is a radioactive waste that has to be dealt with. I vote shooting it into space. Yeah? In the meantime, 8642 says they should race electric cars at the fairgrounds. Pit crews could change the batteries every couple of laps instead of tires. Nolene says Freddie's not strong enough to resist the money that he will pocket. 2961 says, thank you for continuing to fight for us. We appreciate you. 2415, Sterling Marlin started his career in Nashville. Yeah, I know that. And, I mean, so many great racers. I mean, I've looked back over the history of that time. I mean, Marty Robbins raced at the, what was it, the Music City 420 or the Nashville 420, they called it. And by the way, its nuclear power is safer than really any other part of any other type of power generation in 2026. It just is. 5588 says, what does this jackass want? To import more people into low-income housing projects because that's going to happen if there's a rise in Section 8 housing? Is that what Nashville needs? They'll come from everywhere. Why is this even a suggestion? No, it is what they want to do, and here's where the bait and switch comes. So John Ingram is astroturfing this so-called grassroots organization that's led by this fellow named Kopp, K-O-P-P. I think his first name's Mike, who will not come on my show. I've invited him. They claim not to know each other. They most certainly do know each other. So Ingram is funding this thing to try to get the Nashville charter, the Metro Nashville charter, changed to eliminate racing from the charter at the fairgrounds and to put in its place affordable housing. But he doesn't want affordable housing there. He wants his own housing there. He wants his own condos or parking lots where that Speedway currently is. So what John Ingram plans on doing, in my opinion, I don't know, I don't have any inside knowledge. This is just my experience, my intelligence and experience combined. Ingram will then go to the council and say, hey, if you offer me the opportunity to utilize this property, I'll give you, in lieu of using this property for affordable housing, I'll give you $5 million. And he'll buy it from them for that amount of money. Or he'll call his condos affordable, even though they're not. That's the plan. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Jackson, for luck. I don't know what that means. I'm tired. I got a move to do. Have a good time in Tunica. We'll see you next week. Until next time, have a good evening. Matt Murphy speaking and saying so long, everybody.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7 Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news,